Because I'm worth it.
Yeah.
Hello. For a second, I thought this girl was dancing because it came in like that. I was like, "Were you jamming?" He wasn't.
No, I was looking around the mic. Probably. It probably
Oh,
escaped
yeah,
him
he
to
does
being
that.
beat at some point.
Anytime he has to see his screen, he's always like,
got
Yeah.
a whole
So I like looking over
contraption.
here. So it would have been like this. I wouldn't know.
it was just in time with the
There's
beat.
just a mic filter in the way.
Okay. Anyways, hi. What's up, everybody?
What's up, Dr.
How
Nick?
was what's up? What?
Dr. Nick. Hi, Dr. Nick.
Hokies. Oh, maybe at the end of the stream. Uh-oh. Okay, so there's a storm by X-ray. So if you see her get scared, she's afraid she's gonna float away.
Well, it's literally flooding in the town over from where I used to live, where I grew up. So who knows? I hear thunder and lightning outside right now. I guess I can't hear lightning.
Maybe if the babies are still up at the end of the stream, Mark
Oh.
will bring them in.
You mean there isn't lightning?
No, you
You're
can't
like, no, I
hear
can't
lightning.
hear lightning. No, my ears just block out to the volume.
Why did you bring this up?
Look,
Ah, why
people
would
are like,
you
oh my god,
show
it's
that?
scary where she is. Rat-sized spiders invade the UK because we had a repopulation campaign as this creature was going extinct. And they were like, oh, let's bring them back. So now
No,
we have
let it go.
4,000 breeding females at 12 sites. They spin webs
No.
as big as pizzas, are on the verge of
Shut
extinction.
up.
Let
No,
them
let it
die.
That's like a freaking xenomorph
Wait,
baby.
it's basically like Australia. You know, I bet you it's
Yes.
poisonous as well. Like,
We
stop this
defeated the
nonsense.
animals. There used to be wolves, like there's accounts of wolves that would harass towns and like castles, and there's literally battles between the humans and the wolves, and they would let them into the castle and just surround them with like armored men and spears and stuff, and just like all the wolves would come in and they'd have like wars with them.
Really?
We wiped out all the dangerous things on our isle. That's why you can go and walk in the like the forest and the lands and stuff and not meet a bear that'll kill you. And now we're bringing stuff like that back.
You know, I'm not surprised because humans we have lived such a cushy life in the last, couple 100 years or so. So now we're like, let's test it. Let's see if we're actually the top dog. Let's repopulate these spiders. God. People
The
be
size
crazy.
of pizzas.
No.
I did have a spider in my room go from one corner to the other, then down, and then I saw it climb the other corner again. And I can only assume it was literally making or trying to make a web the size of the wall.
You seen one of these in person?
No, it wasn't. That's the thing. It was like it was an
God.
okay spider,
Oh,
but it wasn't
that's the thing. Okay,
a
that's it. We're
really
gonna pick you
massive
up.
one. But that was the thing. It was literally the most egotistical spider I've ever seen in my life because you can't make a web the size. It would take you months.
It
What
was
he
Rachel
trying.
Zegler.
He was giving it a go.
It was
Oh,
a Rachel Zegler
God.
spider.
She would be a spider if she were an animal.
Yeah, it started harassing me and nagging me all the time. It'd leave like little passive-aggressive post-it notes. Can you just do
Uh-huh.
this, please?
Can you please not leave your socks
Can you just
on
use
the
the
floor?
broom, please? Thank you. Oh, cheers.
God, you just came home from work. You're supposed to clean. God.
Mining. It's not as if these are not like hard-working, heavy laborers. No, they literally go down into dangerous situations. They're breathing in coal dust and stuff, and she's like, "Can you use the broom? It's dirty in here." After you've brought in the dust from your workplace.
Yeah,
Oh.
how dare you?
Do you imagine
How
what it's
dare
like? What it's like to date her? Like she could definitely not date like a dominant man. You know what I mean? She has to probably
Yeah.
date someone that's very
you?
submissive,
Fembot?
a femboy for sure, because she wouldn't. She probably wouldn't be able to handle like an actual man, and I don't
Oh.
think any man would be able to handle her.
It'll be like that woman from what was it? The one who played Hermione. That's her dating history. Me and
Oh.
Blabs ended up looking that up once. I can't remember why.
Why?
I'm shocked.
Emma
She dates
Watson.
very rich, very beta men. That's her type.
Hmm.
I mean, most women who want to take advantage of men, isn't that the type of men they usually date?
Well, yes, they would be
Or
the ones
if
you
they
could walk
could.
over.
If they could. The richer and the more beta, the better.
But that's just why you want to go to the cinema, isn't it? To see Rachel Zegler nag people. That's
God.
not an attractive selling position. It wasn't desk milk.
Oh, what was it?
It was coffee.
You're drinking
It was because it was
coffee?
in a carton. I probably
You
got a
drink
carton
coffee
around
from
here
a carton?
Yeah. It's actually like 750 milliliters of espresso, but it keeps me awake.
Dang.
750 milliliters espresso? You just drink
Yeah,
it slow one day?
Coffee.
What is wrong?
Oh, it's a Starbucks thing too. Okay. I don't know. Speaking of coffee, I want to ask the chat this real quick. If I should try this, and I'll put it like on my food channel. I have to ask Dan about this, but I seen an article that a really popular coffee in Brazil, an iced coffee, is espresso with Coca-Cola and chocolate milk. And it's like very popular.
No.
And I'm like, that does not sound good, but I am intrigued. And I
I
feel
would
like
just
I
make
need
a
to
short
taste
out of it. Just make a
That's what I'm
short out of
saying.
it.
I'll try it. I'll actually try it, but I want to ask Dan if it's for real because the internet lies to me all the time. It was some article that popped up, and I need to know if it's a real thing. So I don't know. Maybe if we say his name 3 times, he might appear like Beetlejuice. So if Dan shows
Dan
up.
Vask, Dan Vask, Dan Vask.
What you've just like said is like when I was trying whiskeys and I found out I didn't like peated whiskey, and then I saw this is our most peated whiskey we've ever made, and I had to buy it to see how disgusting it was. That's all that is. This is one of those. A lot of countries have like a delicacy that nobody eats except tourists. And
maybe that's it.
My entire theory is they just
I'm
like
gonna try
torturing
it.
tourists. That's
gonna be
all they do.
disgusting. It's gonna
Here's
be
this horrible
disgusting.
thing. Eat that. And like,
But I'll try it anyways. And Sneaky Singy, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. And also, the Gatekeeper gifted a membership too. Thank you, guys. Oh, here we go. You know what? We'll give Disprue a break.
Damn.
Damn.
I'm trying to summon him because I need to answer. I need to know if this is for real. I'm very curious. And look who's here. Carlos Lima for 5. I'm here to support my 3 favorite YouTubers, especially my stepfather.
Ah! I forgot.
You're making him blush.
You can call him Daddy.
if you do that to the stepfather, that's an entirely different video.
Daddy.
There's
Daddy
generally
Roo?
washing
Daddy
machines
Roo.
involved in those
Daddy
videos.
There you go, chat. It's a new one. He's like Daenerys over here, or Daenerys. Sorry, I always say her name wrong.
Yeah,
he's
burning
a man
cities to the ground.
you have a lot of names. Black came for 5.
How was that the first thing you think of with Daenerys?
Disprove, breaker
it wasn't
of
that she
chains,
entirely had the
mother
plot
of
twist at the
dragons.
end and just annihilated a
know.
city. I just know her because of
Well,
her
I don't know
nicknames.
if Disprue had a dragon, he might. Hail Wicked, the Pirate Queen of Buffalo, X-Ray Girl, the what is that word?
Acrotomophile. I don't know.
Okay.
I've never heard that.
I'm scared. What does that mean? And the beautiful Latina, Disprue.
Wow.
I'm clearly Polish.
Latina Daddy.
Own your roots, Disprue. Own your roots.
Let me see. I don't know. I've never heard this word before. Acrotomophile.
Ew, do they even French put Coke in their red wine? What kind? Well,
I don't believe that
they're
either.
French. It might not be Coca-Cola.
Even the French wouldn't sing
he
that.
just says,
Hello.
yeah.
Wow! It's
up,
a
Rhino?
paraphilia in which an individual expresses strong interest sexually in amputees.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, to be fair,
to be fair, I
To be
if
mean,
you
fair,
married
it's
one, do you have an
amputee.
excuse?
Yes, I mean technically it's correct.
only one has
This is
snagged
like
her
I did
heart.
not marry him for his leg. I married him because he doesn't have one.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. We're starting off hot. Anyways, there.
Hi, honey.
I just heard him. Hey. Hi, Mark.
That would be a strange thing to go through, though. It's like, do you get more attracted to somebody the less of them there are?
No.
So, like, if they lost other limbs, you'd be like, oh, you're really hot now.
That'd be so strange to like be attracted to someone because of that reason. There's a multitude of reasons why I was attracted to Mark, not because he didn't have a leg.
No, I wasn't talking about you specifically. I was talking about in general. Like, you start getting them jobs in dodgy factories and stuff. Like, you're around heavy machinery,
Oh my god, Dispersion, like,
tractors.
make sure you work dangerously.
Yeah, it's like, please.
Maybe
Like-
Snow White's like that. She's trying to kill or like hurt the dwarves somehow. They're already short for one.
And
like,
well, they used to be full people, and then
That's
there was
why
an
there's
accident.
CGI, because Rachel's like,
Yeah.
great. You know,
Yeah, and so they come home after a long day's hard work, and she makes them clean. So there might be an accident at work because they're too tired. Well, there we go.
Speaking of Rachel's, like, let's start with her Instagram post. This is Bruce, and he was like, no, this is not hashtag not my Snow White.
It's anybody's Snow White.
No, it's not.
I think I always like the idea back in the day of these like live actions. It started off so good.
It did.
And
Actually,
then-
live action, not CGI.
Yeah. And then to go to this now where the CGI is crap and we get more political about these movies than the actual story themselves, it's really sad.
Yeah, and the thing is, I could see her actually, because I don't think she's ugly. I think she's a pretty girl, but her personality is just makes her hideous. She's awful.
Yeah.
I was telling this room before we started that when you look on like Instagram, just posts of the Snow White movie, everyday people, the people that they want to go see this movie, not people like us that pay attention to all the crap, just regular people are like, she's a spoiled brat. I won't be seeing this movie. Like, you see that everywhere. There's hardly anyone that's like, yeah, I'm so hyped, Slay Queen. Like, she probably gets that crap in her, for her fans. But like when it comes to the movie, people just, I don't know.
You also have the other thing, though, like when she was going, if I spent 18 hours in the dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to get paid for every hour. It's like, no, wearing a dress should just be normal. That is what you should be wearing.
You look at this.
Like, Snow White didn't wear it because she was trying to be iconic. It was just a dress. It was just how
she's a
people,
princess dress.
like civilized people, dress.
Yeah.
And you go from that to this. Like, Snow White walked into the house and she's like, oh, look at this place. It's never been cleaned. Where's their mother? They must not have a mother. They must be orphans. I need to help the orphans. Then maybe they'll help me back. To this. Which is basically just, I can only pay the rent of the Seven Dwarfs one way. Have a go, lads. That's the only thing this picture says.
Yeah, so that's what Disparu was saying. Like, she's not embodying like the sweet, innocent
Persona.
Snow White here. Yeah, no. It's just, yeah. I don't think, like I said, I don't think she's ugly, but being pretty doesn't mean anything if you're a terrible human. So,
Well, yeah,
She's
the
shown
whole
that.
pretty thing is just because you're against Gal Gadot. That was the issue there.
yeah. And that's why I wonder why she had to make that tweet. Like, obviously, a lot of these celebrities, they got to pick they have to pick a side, right?
Well,
but it
this
seems
literally
like,
says the fairest, by the way. It's like,
yeah, and it says that too.
okay.
It's like,
You
she's very
understand the
stuck up.
definition of fair, correct? Like,
And this tweet, like this group actually pointed this out, and I didn't think about it. She had to put this under promotion for the movie too, which seems like it was kind of a jab at Gal because the Palestine stuff. It's right here. Sorry.
Well, that's the way it comes
couldn't-
across when your co-star is just like openly on the other side. And
Yeah.
especially when everyone's
But
been
she's
going,
from
well,
there.
you're obviously not as attractive as her. which-
That's what I'm saying. She got jealous, I think.
It's not a dig because it is Gal Gadot. But if you take it that way, then I could see it becoming like a problem between the two of you. Like you get jealous and then strike back.
I think she is jealous. Like, Gal's getting a lot of people, like, just looking in her Instagram, that picture that says I'm the fairest.
I'm the fairest, by the way, right?
Majority
Mhm.
are saying you're not, Gal's better looking, et cetera, et cetera. And I mean, any person, if they were being told and compared to their coworker, could get jealous. It's a natural human reaction. And to see that after all that, you're like, shouldn't you guys have like a united front? Let's
Yeah.
not bring politics into this, especially into a Disney movie. It has nothing to do with like war,
Yeah.
like
I
that
think-
war.
And she's twisting the meaning, because if you remember 2 years ago, they tried to, and it didn't work because it doesn't make any sense, but they tried to spin it so that the fairest in our movie meant like justice. Like she's the most just, which is it's stupid anyway because it's the evil queen. So everybody in the land should be more just than the evil queen. But either way, they tried to change the definition, which probably would have been a better tactic than embracing what everyone else has taken it as and just being like, no, I'm more fair than Gal Gadot. It's fine.
It's
Mhm.
fine. I'm fair. Yeah. I think we're going to have something in a couple years that's going to come out. I hope so, that Gail's going to like expose her. There's going to be some interview or some Comic-Con panel in a few years where she gets like a question and she's going to talk about someone that was like bad to work with. I just feel like she's going to, I don't know. I feel like it's coming. It should.
Well, there was
Can
loads
you
of
imagine
issues
working
because
with her though? She probably hated her.
you had essentially people that didn't like Rachel Zegler and then people that liked Gal Gadot all getting on one side, but then you had people who just loved drama. And so they didn't really care who won. And they just started analyzing all of the interviews and stuff. And I don't know whether I can find the tweet of Rachel Zegler's facial expressions during one of the interviews, but if I can, I'll share it. I think I bookmarked it. And it is literally just, she does not look happy during any of these things. So Gal Gadot's like happy, she's smiling, she's interacting with the like the interviewer, and Rachel Zegler's there just with a face like a slapped ass. Like the entire thing just looks miserable. And it's like, yeah, doesn't look like you're a fan of where you are, who you're next to.
No, I think that the way she's been acting is
It's
gonna
not attractive in any
not.
way.
It's gonna ruin roles for her. But well, we'll see what happens when the movie drops. I really will be shocked if this movie does even halfway decent. Because like I said, people seem very checked out on it. They don't want to go see it because they don't like her. So we'll see. I actually liked when they first, like you were saying, X-Ray, when they first started doing the live action, like Cinderella was the best one, I think, because of course they're gonna have some CGI.
Shad says the same thing.
Yeah,
Big fan.
Big, huge
of it.
fan.
Yeah.
You really?
He loves
Yeah.
Cinderella. Very vocal about it on
Very
FNT.
vocal.
That's so funny.
It's like it's on loop. You know how when Gary's making a video or edit, there's always like Doctor Who or something on in the background? With Shad, I think it's just Cinderella.
Yeah. That or Twilight. I think that's like
Twilight?
his two favorite movies.
Oh,
Mhm.
well, I just think Cinderella was well done because obviously they had to put some CGI, but they still did it like where it'd be kind of realistic. They didn't have the mice talking or anything, but it still looked good. And Lily, I always forget her name, Lily James was great, and obviously Richard Madden was a perfect Prince Charming for my choice. It was just really well done, and they stuck, to the story. They
You kind of
didn't
sounded
add-
a little bit embarrassed there about it. It was my choice. Was like, oh, sorry, my mind went blank there for a second
Well,
when I mentioned his name.
I feel like at least once a month I got a simp on Richard Madden. Come on.
Okay. I had a shock face because of Mike. Sorry, calling you out, bro. Kate Blanchett as the evil stepmother. Mommy can step on me anytime. Wow.
We were talking about you earlier, Mike. All good things. This brew was talking about how fancy you are.
Okay,
Well, yeah,
and
well, this is
you know you drink like this.
The thing was, he never mentioned it. And he's done it before, but it always seemed like it was done for other people. This just seemed like, no, I'm drinking. And he literally, yeah, it was...
The live action Cinderella Brandy.
And then
That
went
one was
down
good
again.
too.
I
I
just
actually loved that
Never
one.
comment.
Christopher, thank you for being a member for a month. Yeah, I liked that one. I was talking about the one with Lily James, though, the more recent one. But I did like the one with Brandy. And that one was diverse as heck, and that came out in the 90s, I think it was.
I think it's
it was a
90s.
musical. Yeah. Classy fella. We know Mike. Mike is super bougie.
See, all I need to do is get him onto tea and be like,
Ooh, that'll be the classiest drink he can drink with the little
Mhm.
pinky out.
We got to
You
give
know-
him a nice little teacup.
apparently Sevi melted a kettle on her stove. And
Oh,
yeah. And I'm assuming it was to make tea. I don't know why else.
What?
have
How?
Well, this was the question. How do you melt a kettle? And so I don't think she ever said in the end, but my theory was she bought a plastic electric kettle, but then put it on the stove. It's the only way I can think it works.
Oof.
I forgot to ask Sevi what the story was.
Okay, next time, please. I need the story. I need.
I need to know how this happened.
Well, she does say she burns everything. Like, she can't cook at all.
Oh god.
So I'm just assuming this was her way of burning water.
At least she's forthcoming about it. You know, you never know.
Well, I mean, she's next to a Rudai. Those two seem to just be willing to say anything and, like, just embarrass themselves. Now, admittedly, Sevi does generally just embarrass a Rudai even more. So it's like having two Rudais on the stream.
Well, her goal is to embarrass him. It's usually not herself. Usually.
He'll occasionally get a hit back.
Yup.
16-bit mascot. Thank you for the 5. Hey, saucy folks. Hope you've all had a good week and your next one is top notch. I'll fill out the text here and make a count. Flubbabuzihismer.
There were way too many Zs in what you...
Flubbenheimers.
There you go. Much better.
Yeah.
Oh, you found it. Okay.
Yeah, genuinely cannot stand her. Press story is going to be challenging. And so they've got the pictures.
Oh, that's the outfit she had in her Insta post.
This was at D23, right?
Oh,
so
look at her face.
Yeah.
So
then you get to this.
It's like she can't act.
And it like she's happy and she's like, okay.
She looks
and
like she's so,
that
like
is the face
child
of death.
that
is
doesn't
just,
want to be there.
Why am I here?
She's constipated. Oh, she's awful. I wonder if Gal's nice in person. If she's like a really sweet person in real life, then
she seems like
she seems
from
okay.
her interviews, she seems like she's like trying to be personable, and then Rachel's just like, I don't give an F.
You're not cuter than me, by the way. Just so you know.
Rachel does have interviews where she's like nice, but the issue is now whenever she goes, so I'm so grateful to be in this. Oh, it's so amazing that we're all here. I really just love everything, because they actually say this in this interview. Both of them go, it feels amazing to be part of like history making this kind of thing. And it just comes across as fake now because of what you said previously. So you can't kind of pull that back. And I get that feeling with Rachel when she's in other stuff. There's she did one with, I think it was one of the Spider-Men, and throughout all of that she's like, oh, it's so amazing, oh, it's wonderful, oh, it just really comes across as over the top and fake, and you're not sure which is real. But the issue with Gal Gadot is she's always kind of happy and bubbly and nice in interviews, and that's just how you should. You're an actress. If you are an arse, just act that you're a nice person in interviews. That's what you should do.
You're supposed to, yeah. But Rachel's like, no, I'm so real for this. I don't know. I feel like that's how she thinks, because she just thinks that she's.
And when it comes, well, I was gonna say, when it comes to being personable, like attacking people is not the way to go.
No, and she attacks everybody. Like what I was saying that to Disparu again before the stream started, that she probably tweeted that because she's like, you know what, I haven't gotten into any controversy in a couple of days. Let's spice things up. Like, so she had to tweet the Palestine thing.
The thing with me is, I don't really care if an actor is acting that they're a nice person and they're actually not. It's that you're too thick to realize that's what you should be doing. If you are an arsehole, at least do the audience the decency of pretending you're not. This is your job.
Your job. Yeah, it's true. Eric, thank you for being a member for 1 month. Hi, everyone. Wicked Virtue, love the content. Watching from Ireland. Thank you.
Cool.
Mark a reality for 100. Holy moly, Mark.
Damn.
Thank you, Mark. I am sorry, but in my opinion, Rachel Zegler is not pretty. With 5 being average/normal, she is a 4 at best, but probably more of a 3 for most men. Once you add in the personality points, well, do the math downward. No wonder the prince isn't going to save her. Dang, Mark. No, I get it, because she's really tiny too, and I feel like I'm not going to speak for the majority, but a lot of men like a figure on a woman, and she is very tiny. I think her face is pretty.
Oh, when you said tiny, I thought you meant short. I was going to say,
no,
short
I mean, like,
she's
anything.
petite. She's like a petite body.
Yeah.
And people can like petite people. I just think that, like...
Yeah, I don't think that really factors into it. I think most people, when they're talking about her face, and it is weird, but I think it's just part of being an actress. There is like a range of photos of her. So in some, she looks great. In others, she really doesn't. But if you have that many pictures taken of you, you can pick from...
Yeah, and she's also just her personality ruins it. She could be like drop dead gorgeous, and that personality just ruins it.
Yeah, as soon as she opens her mouth, there's a few people that are out there.
This one's for you, Disparu.
Hey, if you want to start the nickname, I'm not reading the nickname.
Okay, I'll read it. I'll read it. Carlos Lima for $2 says, Mom says, how you doing, Daddy Roo?
I forgot where that came from, and I've just remembered. Oh my
They just started
goodness.
5 minutes ago.
How you doing?
No, but I forgot that it came from the previous week where I was like, no, my mom thought.
Oh,
Oh, so that first message, you're like, I don't understand
Yeah, I didn't
this.
know where I was like
He was
the
confused.
daddy thing, and then I realized when he started about the mom, I was like, oh yeah. I do remember that. I do remember the super chat now.
Yep.
Because I was like, what happened last week?
A week is a long time ago, honestly, in YouTube time. Like a
a
lot,
lot
can
has
happen.
happened. Yeah. Psychotic Mongoose has been a member for 10 months, almost a year. Thank you.
Mhm. God, even like from this morning, it feels like a lifetime ago. Like I went into work, came home. I bought some comics, by the way. They're really cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought Batman versus Aliens comics.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
only
didn't
found that
know
out
they
existed
had it.
the other day.
that's
Yeah.
interesting.
And I just found it randomly. So, anyways, I'm excited for when they come in.
Oh, you ordered them. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Comics are fun. I can't wait to go to another con and get some more. That's usually where I get them because there's just so many. But you could be there all day just looking at comics because there's always at least there's like 10 vendors. Yeah.
With
well, you
back
guys know.
issues, so excited for
Yes.
a fan expo. If there's anyone that's going to be there, I don't know who's going to be there. I'll be there. So yeah, I went online shopping hurts. Okay.
Online shopping. Jason Webster for Australian 5. Thank you, Jason. Oh,
Okay, I'll say.
wait, you- okay.
Ohayu gozaimasu.
thank you.
Gozaimasu. To my favorite.
If I just sneezed, it would have been more accurate than what I was going to say.
Ahayu gozaimasu to my favorite Onamushu, X-Ray Girl with your virtue and disprove Saucy Saturdays here to make everybody's weekend.
Thank you, Jason. I love how you had to do the. It's just a habit to do the nod.
I love when you go into some Japanese restaurants and they do the little bow and they say that. I was just like,
Aw.
it's so adorable. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had that.
Ooh.
Like gone into a place
maybe
like that.
if you
Oh, I
ever
was gonna say,
visit
I thought
me,
you were like, no, they don't do
You
that
can go
to
to
me.
one?
They look at
Yeah.
me and think, no.
if you ever
You don't
visit me, I'll
deserve
bring
the
you
bow.
somewhere that does that. We'll see.
Somebody.
We'll see.
Okay, we'll see. Jason, thank you for another 5. Oops, forgot to click on it. Oh, goody. Snow White and 7 badly rendered CGI characters. CGI
Yeah.
because they originally looked like 7 Woodstock cosplayers. That's
Oh
actually
my God.
true.
I would love
I
to know
just-
the behind the scenes of this, because there's all these rumors that they went, like, originally they weren't supposed to be in there, then they did reshoots, and then they brought in the CGI, and like how much money that added to the cost of the movie.
Which is wild. They could have saved so much money just hiring actors
Yeah.
that were dwarves. And hey, if you wanted to be all inclusive on top of that, if you hired like a female girl, like a female for Dopey, I would have been more than okay with it.
I wouldn't.
I think it'd be cute. Anyways,
You better know what they did.
maybe
Sorry.
they don't have
Unless
enough.
it was Rachel Zegler. That she was grumpy.
She was grumpy.
She has
That'd be
to
a
be
better role
grumpy.
for her.
That'd be great
That'd
casting,
be-
yeah. That would be like meta jokes. They'd be like, okay, no.
It's actually the 8 dwarves. It's just 8 dwarves, no Snow White. Oh God.
Like Snow White, her grumpy sister, and all she does is just get on really well with Grumpy the entire movie. Just like sit there in a corner staring at people.
Maybe she's
Shut up,
mad.
Ian.
What did Ian say?
X-ray nearly said a female.
Yeah.
It's actually true though.
An
He's like
original
a
one.
female boy. Like, because
Right.
female boys exist in 2024.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to a point where that's like a tradition. It's like, well, you know, traditionally.
You know why she's so mad? Because they made her look like Lord Farquaad. Look at that.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
That hair is so ugly. Ugh. And she's
Hold on. I'm gonna
got
pull
nice
something up.
hair usually.
She does. Yeah, she does have nice hair. I mean, it might be extensions because a lot of these stars have extensions, but it could be her hair. I've had
You know,
people
the
ask me, and I'm like, it's just my hair.
The funniest thing is because I found out that what is it? Is it the Daily Wire? Their version of Snow White, they did another trailer, and in that, what's her name? Brett, she looks so much better.
Oh,
Like
look,
she would
she's right there.
actually
Brett
compete
is
with Gal
right
Gadot,
there.
and it would make
But-
sense.
Look at this cosplayer. Way better. Like, why didn't they just curl her hair up towards her face?
Yeah, she got the hair for it. They just had to style it.
Yeah. Maybe the makeup artist is DEI too, which I mean,
Yeah, mhm.
let's just say makeup and hair. I would be okay with DEI in that field because some of the gays that are out there do really, 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 really good makeup.
Oh, that's not where I was
Oh,
thinking
yeah.
you were going with that. I was thinking they were going, well, we don't want to give you white hair. I think that's literally Snow White style. That'll be,
That's
it wouldn't be
too
cultural
white.
appropriation. Yeah, it's like, well, we're trying to move away from that.
When
We
you
need to do something
compare it
different.
to, they actually didn't even do a good job replicating like Snow White's hair.
Well, I don't
It's
think they are
Lord
trying to
all I
replicate
see
it
is-
at all.
No, all I see is Lord Farquaad. Well, hold on, let's pull up. Let's do side by side.
There have been so many women who have played Snow White, not only cosplayers, but legit Disney staff at Disneyland on Disney cruises, people who play these princess parts at birthday parties that look way better as Snow White than she
You guys
does.
are not going to be able to unsee this now.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah.
It's exactly the same. Yeah.
That's what they were going for, and they nailed it.
Facts. Facts.
Yeah, like
That's your eighth
I-
dwarf, guys.
she's grumpy. I've met one of the Snow White cast members at Epcot, and she was lovely, and she looked like Snow White, like the cartoon Snow White. I just don't understand. It's like Disney knows, right? Because they're parks, they hit it out of the park, with the cast members. But here, I'll pull it up and show you guys.
Yeah, and these cast members, like I have a friend who worked for Disney and was a princess, and they're very, very strict on who plays these parts.
See,
Well,
look
they
how
used
cute
to
she
be.
is. She looks
Well,
like
yeah.
Snow White. And the dress and everything. And it's just like, okay, and that's at Epcot. So it's like, hello, Disney, knock
Yeah.
knock. Like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to ruin everything? Well, what did you share?
Like, this is Brett, and she doesn't even mimic the hair, but you'd be like, okay, I could see why the evil queen would be jealous of you. And then there's a few shots of her, like before she even goes into the dress and stuff. Oh, there's another one. Like they don't even mimic the hair, but you can at least be like, okay, fairest of them all.
I can see that.
Yeah,
It
and what
is
about
literally-
Mirror Mirror? Have you guys this room talked about that? Oh god, that scared me.
Yeah, it was
Snow White.
like you're not mimicking this stuff, but it is like, okay, I could at least see that. That is believable. Yeah, I think movies have underestimated casting. What they because they think everyone's interchangeable. Like, no, I can just hire anyone. It'll be fine. They don't realize it kind of impacts the believability of where you are. You can't get immersed in like, that's just stupid. That wouldn't happen. Especially when we're used to Hollywood being full of the most gorgeous people on Earth.
Like
It
this.
just
This
doesn't
is
happen now.
Mirror Mirror was the last adaptation, 2012, of Snow White. They got Julia Roberts, who's pretty because the evil queen isn't supposed to be ugly. And then they got Lily Collins. She's very pretty.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Like, and this was, I actually really liked this movie. So I don't, it's so stupid. You see what works and you're like, you know what? Let's go the complete opposite.
I just think that looks like we've got Snow White at home.
This one,
Yeah, the second one
Lily-
you said.
Lily Collins.
Yeah,
this
the
one?
one in the yellow.
I think, well, I think she looks more like, and at least they had dwarves as this,
Legit
not
dwarves.
CGI. Yeah, legit little people. No, this story was interesting too, and they actually made it to where Snow White was a bit more like not damsel in distress. Like they did that proper with this movie. I don't know what they're doing. God, I don't know what they're doing with the.
But the thing is, she is a damsel in distress. She literally eats a poison apple and goes unconscious. That makes you a damsel in distress. The entire point
It gets
is that the
darker.
prince comes along and saves you.
I used to go to, when I was younger, I used to go to my local library and just like rent all these random books and random movies. And I found a Snow White one. I was like, ooh, Snow White. And it was like way darker. It was like the Brothers Grimm version where she gets strangled by like magic scarves and like all this stuff. And I was like, whoa.
Have you
I was
seen?
young. I wasn't ready for it.
Have you seen the Babylon Bees take on Snow White, like modern
No.
Snow White? Their
No.
story is, because I don't know whether they hit you for it if I played the video. The prince comes along and he's like, just a nice day of adventuring, and he finds her on like in the glass thing. Goes, oh, gotta save that princess. Goes to kiss her, and he goes, nope, consent. And so he just walks off and leaves her. And then the rest of the video is just him walking after princess, after princess, after princess. He's like, nope, sorry, can't do anything. There's no note here. It's like, there's a lot of princesses in trouble these days, isn't there? And he just walks off.
He's doing the modern thing, okay? Oh
Yes.
yeah, strong, independent women, yay!
She don't need no man to let her sleep.
Oh my goodness. Gregory, thank you for the $2. Disparux.
Para.
Well, I mean, the word is already French. You're trying to increase the
French it?
Frenchness of it.
It's French squared now. Dispara.
Goodness. Abe's been a member for 9 months. Thank you, Abe. You want to get a saucy? All right, we haven't played one yet. Here you go.
Saucy.
Saucy.
Yeah, so nicely. Vader Mike for $2. They said north of 400 million with reshoots for Snow White.
Oh my god.
Oh, they are not
Yeah.
making that back. I will be absolutely shocked if they even break even with this.
They will
'Cause
not
it
break
started,
even.
I don't think
I
they
think
will.
I think somebody said 250. I don't know, can't remember where that came from. Then the Daily Mail said 330, and then the latest number has been 400. That Park Place came out with a thing where they were talking about the reasons. It's a rumor. They said it was a source that's been correct before. Still a rumor. 3 different sets of reshoots for different reasons. The first was to add CGI dwarves, which he said added at least 30 million to the budget, and then the other one was to like decrease how much Rachel Zegler was like militant feminist in it, and make it a nicer story. And it was literally to tone her down. They said they brought in a young version so that she can actually fill out the movie, because Rachel is so like dislikable in the movie. They put another character in to take up screen time, and then the third one was to make it more like the original story, because audiences didn't like it when they showed it to them.
Wow. So guess what? I think this is the end of Rachel's career with these types of movies. I don't know if she can get anything else after this, because flop after how many flops has she had?
She had one movie that was in profit, and that was had the last one, the Hunger Games.
Yeah, which also
Only
I don't
one
think
in
did well either, right? Oh.
Well, it made money. It wasn't a massive hit or anything, but it was like that was the issue. Her other movies were all flops. They all lost money. So having one movie that was like, oh, we broke even, is actually a success.
Yay!
So-
Oh, jeez. Carlos for 5. Thank you. Is it just me, or does anybody else get Mad Magazine cartoon vibes of the new Dopey? Let's see if we get a still of just
I don't know what
Dopey.
Mad Magazine is.
Oh, it's like the Mad TV show. They had a magazine too, where it was illustrations and stuff.
It's an American thing, I think.
Oh yeah, it is. I used to also get that from
So
my library, the Mad Magazine.
Hunger Games grossed 337 million off a production budget of 100. So
Okay.
depending how you do with marketing and stuff, could have broken even, could have made a bit of a profit.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think that the movie did well because of the
Well, it didn't.
franchise.
No,
for
the franchise,
well-er.
it's the worst performing in the franchise by $300 million.
Yeah.
So it actually pulled in half of the least performing one before. So,
Yeah. And God, we didn't need this story either. But
Never
she
watched
wasn't
it.
the worst in this movie because she wasn't girl bossing everywhere. Thank God. She was still annoying to me because of who she is. I hate when that
her
the
face annoys me a little bit.
personality just bleeds into the movie. I
Right
just don't
there.
like her.
Oh, the Mad Magazine cover. Yeah, you're right. It does look like that.
I did find it interesting that those supposedly when it was out, and they were like, no, they're not the dwarfs, they're the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, or whatever they tried to say that all the people in the field were, never been seen in another trailer again. Just completely eradicated. The moment we saw CGI dwarfs, those people vanished.
Yeah.
Does
There's
seem like they were
Dopey.
going to be the dwarves.
He does look like the
Oh,
Mad
yeah,
magazine.
he does look like that.
does,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
There you go.
I wouldn't have known. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, I had to. I'm like, after I see it, I'm like, oh, yeah. Justin, thank you for the $5 to play devil's advocate. At least Disney was in the same ballpark with skin tone when they cast Rachel.
Well, I mean,
What?
she's Danish.
Oh,
What do you mean? Like, she's not.
Yeah, it's literally her skin is white as snow. That's why she's called Snow White. It's part
needs
of
to
the
be
thing.
whiter, I think.
Yeah, well, yeah, she's the wrong actress for the part.
Yeah.
She doesn't look like Snow White should. The features aren't the same. Snow White isn't Latino. You know, she's not even half Latino. She's
Yeah.
European.
I
So
mean, I don't advocate this, but an Asian would have been better. But I think just go with a white
Well, no,
person.
'cause
There's
she's
a lot of white
European.
people. There's a lot of white people out there.
it's a European story.
A lot of
So
white people.
the issue is,
True.
like European is basically the only people that can't be represented in their own media, which is weird considering that's all the media that's all the media you're taking. That's all the mythology. That's all the stories that you're taking, and they're the only people you won't put in it. So, and it's very American to think that, oh, we needed a Latina in this. Nobody else in the world like is that concerned about Latinas. The I don't even know what the population of the UK would be. I doubt there's many.
No one in the I feel like it's so American. I saw a clip of Lauren Chen saying like most people in the world don't really care that much about representing your foreigners / making sure, you know, people who are coming in are okay. But like we see Americans just bowing down to just the influx of all those this DEI stuff, and you're like, is it worth it? Or we're creating problems out of this.
One of the
They
most
want us fighting. Let's be real.
One of the most base things I've seen recently, I was watching a video about Hungarian tourism. I watch random
One
things.
second, Andrew.
But there was the Parliament building, and if you're a tourist and you go there, you have to pay to get in. Now, if you're from Hungary or the EU, because they probably can't discriminate against that, then it costs one price. If you're from outside the EU, it's double the price to get in. I'm like, that's amazing. Like,
Well,
literally,
you pay the money for that building most likely, so it makes
well, yeah,
sense.
it's got nothing to do with it. You're not tied to that history at all. So obviously, if you want to go and use what you haven't contributed to, you should pay more to contribute to it. I think that essentially giving preferential treatment to your own citizens is just common sense. Like, obviously, this is who the country's for. So,
I forgot where it is. I've seen places where if you are a resident of that country, you get discounted tickets to go to tourist attractions, which makes sense because otherwise I would normally never want to go. Why am I paying full price for all these things? Right?
It is like if I went to Florida and then there was a local person in Florida who's going to the place, it's like, well, I am literally making their experience at that place worse by me existing there. Because now there's another person in the queue, there's another person buying all this stuff, another person taking up space that they can't walk around and making it more crowded. And so
Drew knows about queues.
Because I'm actively ruining their experience, you should have to pay more for that. You should have to contribute more to the local economy for it.
You want to read this one, just Drew? I feel like you'll say at the end very funny.
Andrew Matthews for £5. That's proper money. The 8 dwarfs: Doc, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, Bashful, Sneezy, Dopey. I'm not sure I can say that one.
See you
Yeah.
next
You can't?
Tuesday.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
see
didn't
you
know.
next Tuesday, E. Like, Americans get really sore about that word.
Well, and to be fair, Disprove might get in trouble for saying things.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
no,
true.
that word is fine over it. Like,
They
Scottish
just
say
use
it's
it,
like
they
an
sprinkle it
endearing
on
thing.
everything. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
they call
the
their
Scottish and the
friends.
Aussies are very similar around that word.
So
Over here,
if
it's
I
not that
say
big a deal.
that to Critical Drinker, he'd be like, "Hey."
He'd probably laugh.
DJ for 20. Disbrew, get a haircut. Oh no.
Well, I find it
Listen.
very feminine. Probably the most feminine thing you can do as a bloke is care about another man's hair. I actually don't think there's a less masculine thing than caring about somebody's hair as a man. That's just how it is.
Wow. I didn't see that
Sasguru is
coming.
here tonight. DJ, thank you for the 20 and bringing out Sasperu. He hasn't been here in a bit, so thank you.
You just got sassed.
You just
Like,
got sass.
you come at people with the same energy they come at you. That's the way you do it.
Dang.
I think a lot of people agree though. That's why Rachel Zegler gets so much, because that's the way she came at Snow White, like aggressively, and so people responded the same way towards her. It's like, well, you know.
Debbie, thank you for the $2. Comatose does not equal consent. You're gonna put that on a sign.
Yeah, she should just be left there in
Thank
her
Glass.
magical prison forever. That's the moral, decent thing to do, folks.
For the universe. I wasn't expecting that.
Have
It
you
was
seen the
good.
clip? There's a clip of a TikTok where they're in a restaurant and they gives them the bill and they put an Udo reverse card in and give it back to him, and the waiter has one in his like list of things that he can put down, and he reverses the reverse, and he's
Oh my
like,
God.
I've been waiting for this moment my entire life, and just puts it down.
Here you go. It's your best friend, Disbrew. Read this one. It's a nice one.
Lance Thrustcock for $4.99. Disparu means squirrel in French. No, it means disappeared or vanished.
That's what
it-
happens to the desk bill.
That's what happens to the squirrels in France, okay?
Yeah, it's from Alias. SD6 section Disparu 6. They said it meant the section that doesn't exist, but I've been told by many French people. When I'm in games, I get French like DMs. I don't speak. I don't know.
Oh,
He's
because they think
disgusting.
you're
It's
actually
a French word, so they're just like, oh, it
minute
must be French,
person.
obviously.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Okay. I see. I see.
Ian, thank you for that 50 pounds. It's not Disparooks.
Row.
The
Just
X
for
would
row.
be-
Oh, that's like
It's a French
okay.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay, Disparo. It's Daddy Roo. Why are we fighting
Daddy Roo.
this?
He's Daddy Roo, and you have to call me Daddy, Ian. Okay, you've been calling me Daddy, and so there's two daddies in this chat.
Damn.
He did call me Daddy
That's
once.
gonna get clipped. There
He
were so
did.
many daddies in one sentence there. That'll be.
Hi, Ian.
Oh no. She's like, you have to call me Daddy. Okay, Dave Chandler for 20. Sorry, wait, this
That's getting clipped too now. You realize that?
Oh no.
Even did the
Dave-
lingering bit on the end. It's like, ee.
Actually, hold on 1 second. Can you? We need Disrude to just say "daddy" now. Can you say it like American?
Well, I
like,
just say
what-
daddy. Whereas you're like, call me daddy. It's like you like linger it.
That's gonna, well, now that's.
I
gonna be
feel
so
like you
thank
should just clip all of us saying "Daddy."
It's just a completion.
Daddy.
Yeah, is it possible? I don't know whether you've got like a Stream Deck or whatever,
second
or whether you could hook it, but you probably could. And there's like a randomizer, so there's all three people as like
Just saying
a super
daddy?
chat. Thanks. Yeah, and nobody knows when you press that button which one it's gonna be.
Yes.
You know what? I never tried this. I want to see something.
Are
I
we
don't know
supposed
what
to
I'm
hear
supposed to look
something?
It didn't work. I pushed a button. I wanted to see if it worked. I heard it, but I don't think
Oh,
you guys
you
did.
need to make sure whatever your chat microphone is includes that in there as well. It depends on your soundboard.
Okay, because
If-
it works on OBS. I was just curious to see if it would work.
If Streamlabs has anything like hotkeys or that you can set up to play a certain video rather than having to actively click it in a menu, because I don't know what StreamYard is like. You could do that on like a Stream Deck or even just macros and stuff. It is possible.
I gotta
Mhm.
mess with it. It'll be a lot easier because then I wouldn't have to go into like the brand thing and click on the videos. I can put them up on my because I do have a Stream Deck. Dave Chandler, thank you for the 20. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was a landmark in cinema history. It was. Disney wouldn't exist without it. People don't
Mhm.
want to see a modern audience telling with an actress who doesn't appreciate what the original stands for. Yeah, she's so disrespectful to the role, and I've said this probably a bunch of times on different streams, but it's I compare her to oh my gosh, what's the Halle Bailey,
Halle
was the one
Bailey?
who played nice.
I like doing that.
Who-
it's one
played,
of my favorite.
I like that sound.
It's a nice sound.
It was a bit
Who
squeaky.
played Little Mermaid, and okay, we didn't like her in the role, whatever, but she wasn't unpleasant. She was very nice. The only backlash is because we know why Disney hired her. It's not really her fault. Like, of course, anyone's gonna take.
If
You
I
know what I
was
mean?
given a role, I'd take it too.
Exactly, but she was respectful. She even met up with Jodie Benson, the original Ariel, and she was like, "I want to make her proud." I think she said something about that. Same with Emma Watson when she did Belle. She wanted to make the original actress proud. Like she was very proud to have the roles. And then we get Rachel Zegler, who's just like, yeah, this isn't gonna be whitewashed. It's
Mhm.
and she just like she hates the story. Wasn't there an interview where she was like, it scared her as a kid? I'm like,
That was a ride. Yeah.
oh,
'Cause
the
she's
ride.
done all this
Okay,
stuff about
that
how,
makes sense.
and she said since like how important Snow White was to her. But then there's a clip where she's like, "No, I only saw it once. I watched
Yeah,
it
because
once, went
Disney
on a
got
ride.
involved.
It was scary, and I never watched it again." It's like, well, I mean, I don't really care. I'm not the kind of thing where it's like to be in a role, you have to be a massive fan of it. But once you get the role, you should become one. Like
Yeah.
even if you have to lie to yourself to make you one, then you should really get into it. And from that point, be like, well, I wasn't really into it, but I put a lot of time and effort into finding out all I can, watching all the different versions. Like you
Yeah.
can be
That's
like
part
this.
of being an actor, an actress, or just anyone in that field. You have to like be passionate about this. Because if you don't do your research, which we've seen in a lot of these shows, modern day shows, the writers, the producers, the showrunners, the actors, the actresses, you can tell that they're just not as passionate about it. We have Henry Cavill, who was in The Witcher, who wanted to bring this masterpiece to life from what he grew up with, like reading the books and the games and whatnot. And to see where it went from season 1 to season, was it 3 now?
Yeah.
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 It's such a travesty. And then you hear them saying, don't do the research into these roles. And then Rachel Zegler basically crapping on what had come before. It's so Gen Z and modern day because no one appreciates what has come before. Yeah, sure. People made mistakes back in the day. Not everything everyone did was good and correct in modern day eyes. But at the time, you have to appreciate and empathize for what they went through to bring to what you have now. And they don't. They live
The
such a
weird thing
cushy
is,
life.
Exactly.
they keep going, it was a product of its time. It's like, yes, it was a better time. It's better than now. And the thing is, what she was going against in the movie, oh, well, it's not going to be about a love story. It's not going to be about a man. That's not even the life she's living. Like, so she clearly knows, because she's been, like, married for 2 years. So she wanted a love story. She wanted to get married to somebody. She wanted to be with somebody. But then when it comes to a character, suddenly it's like militant feminism. It's like, oh, now we're not going to do this. No, it's not about him. It's about me. It's just about my voice. It's about becoming a leader. It's like, well, that's not where you're living, though. So if it's not good enough for you to actively imitate in your own life, maybe you shouldn't be pushing it as great for everybody else. It just sounds like you're trying to drag them down so they can't reach what you've got. And I think it's that attitude, because this was, as far as I know, Disney was going bankrupt, and it literally saved the company and made the company what it is. So there isn't actually a more important movie that they've got.
It's the truth. They were going under, and this was groundbreaking. And what was it, 1932 or 37, whatever, like back then? And think about that, though. It still holds up. Like I still think it's a beautiful
classic for a
film.
reason.
So just it's like she just like took it and she just spit on it. Like she didn't care. I don't know why. I just don't understand why she accepted the role. Then it's like if you really aren't feeling it, move on. And they could have got someone better. And not only that, she was disrespectful to her co-stars too. Now Gal Gadot, before I don't remember his name, but the prince. She's like, oh, he's like, they might even cut him out of the movie completely.
Well,
like she had an
he's in
interview
the
and said that. And I was like,
trailer
what?
About 0.6 seconds. I think Drinker timed it.
And I wonder if is he even going to be a prince? Because they kind of took Eric's prince role away in The Little Mermaid. Like he's a prince, but he was adopted, so not by blood, like in the original movie. He was the minority technically. Like it was the island was like all like a black king and queen, and he was like the one that stood out. Like he was a white guy, or I don't know what he is. I'm just assuming that's what he looked like. And he was only a prince because he washed up ashore and they adopted him.
Because of all the reshoots, we don't know like what we're gonna get is what they were originally doing. So all our interviews from 2 years ago may be entirely wrong at this point. But when she's been going, it's not about him. It's about me and becoming the leader that I know I can be because of my father. She's probably going to be like the princess herself. Like
Yeah, she's going to become the queen.
Yeah.
And there's probably going to be she's probably not going to end up with him. They're probably not even going to kiss.
She's gonna save herself, guys, obviously.
Just like, oh my gosh. And I'm sorry to bring up Little Mermaid again, but when that scene that they cut out, which in the movie is so important, it shows like Triton, how much Eric loves her. They sacrifice himself when he turns the ship into Ursula. That's an iconic scene in The Little Mermaid. That doesn't happen in the live action. It's so freaking funny because she's like got the fin on and she like flops up to it and is like, and turns it. And it's so
Just to use a body weight to twist it. Yeah.
I was cracking up. I was like, it was funny. I thought it was funny. It was
My
ridiculous.
favorite thing is when she comes out the water and she like gets all the braids and like goes backwards with them and they just all hit it. And she's like, that was like getting whipped. And
That
you could
would
understand it, right?
hurt.
That
Yeah,
would
it's like big
hurt.
thick braids soaked with water and you've smacked them against your own back. And people were actually having to follow her, holding her hair because it hurt. Because they were so wet and heavy, they dragged against the scalp. It's like, yes, maybe this is why you don't have somebody in the water with braids. But it was so important to you to represent her culture rather than mermaids who wouldn't do that because they'd hurt themselves. I was like,
That makes you think of was it Austin Powers? And he was like, that really hurt. Who throws a shoe? Who throws a shoe?
Oh my god, I saw such a funny Austin Powers clip, the one where they're in the tent and they have the light backdrop and he's
The
on all
shadows?
fours and it's the shadows and she's pulling stuff out of the bag that looks like it's actually out of his butt with the shadows and the people are just standing there like it's like a whole rope. She pulls out an umbrella. I'm like, this scene was iconic. They can't do that
Austin
anymore.
Powers is great. I know they can't. I hope they leave it alone. I've heard talks that they might make a fourth third was last
Can
gold
they
member.
really?
They
I
should.
mean, how could they? Daniel Craig basically turned Bond into that anyway. It was just like a camp, effeminate bloke going around pretending to be Bond. It was
Yeah.
basically the same thing. I'm
Can you make
surprised he
the
didn't have a
same
bold villain at the
jokes?
end.
Like comedy is not the same with the
You can't be.
the
You
notes they'd get.
Did you
Yeah.
guys notice, speaking of comedy, that we don't get that? Like, what's the last like slapstick comedy that you've seen, like recent?
Oh,
Madam
recent.
Web.
They don't.
Alien Romulus.
Yeah. With the annoying zoomers. Oh,
Sorry. I was laughing so hard in the theater. We'll get to there eventually. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll get to there. Yeah, but really though, I can't think of the most recent one that I've seen.
Mark says
Deadpool and
Deadpool.
Wolverine.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess I could.
it was. It,
Oh, I
it was
didn't
a
see
comedy,
that
but
one,
it,
D-Day. Okay.
it was a parody. It wasn't slapstick comedy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm thinking of like like Austin Powers, like that kind of.
Comedy
humor.
movies as a whole have almost got extinct because they can't. The thing is, because to take the piss out of something like that, you'd have to take the piss out of Hollywood. The companies would have to be big enough to realize that they've made a mistake. This is why Deadpool works, because it was taking the piss out of Marvel and literally just pointing out the mistakes they've made. They're that bad now, you'd have to do that, but nobody else can do it without getting fired. So you can't do comedy because you have to take the piss out of somebody, and generally that's fine because they know it's in good faith. They know it's not really intentional. It's not meant to hurt you in any way, and so both people are on the joke. But in this side, like Hollywood isn't. They think they're doing great stuff. They're entirely serious, so you can't take the piss out of them.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Carlos, thank you for another 5. Just curious, do any of you get recognized at work?
No.
The only time I've been recognized in the street was at the London meetup when we were outside a comic store.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, that was so cute. Because I think that was like your face genuinely was so funny because you were just like, what?
Well, yeah, because everyone else, like, we'd been stopped twice already in London, and both of them were for Gary. Like, they recognized him walking along. And then this was the first time I've ever been recognized, like, anywhere. And it was like, yeah, so, like, Gary's over there. They went, it was like, oh, you actually, you didn't just see the group. You actually just saw me. So, yeah,
That's
was
so cool.
it was a bizarre experience. But yeah, it's not something that happens ever, really.
Yeah. For me, I got recognized, but only because I was wearing some sort of Geeks and Gamers like shirt or hat or something like that. And then that was at the border, and I was so nervous the US border agent was good. Like it could have been either I hate geeks and gamers or I love geeks and
You're like,
gamers.
You're like, yes. And then you just
And
wait
I'm just
for
waiting,
it.
like,
Just like,
"Ugh."
I think the only time that I can remember of getting recognized was when we were at Nickel City Con. And we took the picture with he did I'm pretty sure he
Oh, the guy
commented
with
on a video.
the
Did he have
model.
yeah, was it a Gundam?
I don't remember if it was a Gundam.
But yeah, I didn't know. He was like, "Oh, I wanted a picture with you and X-Ray Girl," and I was like, "Oh, you know who we are." Hi. But that was really nice. And that's the only time I can think of, besides people that I know and have talked to, like other creators.
Yeah. I didn't
Um,
recognize her when we first met.
Hi.
It was so awkward. She's like, "Hi." I go, "Hi. How's it going?"
I was like, "It's the conversion." She was like,
To be fair, you've only worn glasses around me, so that was like
at that time, and at that time too, I hardly put my contacts in because before I moved to Florida, I wear them a lot more now, so I can put sunglasses on and see outside. So, Market Reality, thank you for the 10. Hey, now back off, Disperu. Disperu just started drinking, and Shim don't need no man. Now 1 month or 2.
Wait, what?
I don't
Mark,
know.
are you
I don't-
drunk?
Mark,
I got halfway through and I'm like, hang on, wait, what?
hang on. And Jason, thank you for the Australian 5. So far, Alien Romulus has earned 18 million in its opening weekend USD.
Nice.
Okay, we might as well switch on over to that one. I had something to pull up for it. What is this? Here it is.
Okay, so it cost 80 million to produce, according to Variety.
80.
Before marketing.
Interesting. So I'll say what I thought of it. I just seen it too. There was of course problems with it. I gave it like a 7 out of 10. I liked it. Overall, I thought it was good because I looked at it this way. You could tell the director was a fan of the original Alien. So there's a couple little, Easter eggs and callbacks to the film. I definitely was scared that it was going to be way worse. Like it was just going to be absolute garbage, but I thought the effects were cool. I don't know if we're gonna go into spoilers, but the thing at the end really creeped me out. I was like, what? The monster at the end,
fair.
I was like, but I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's Fede Alvarez, whatever. He also did the
Nobody remembers the names of any
nobody
of those
knows.
characters.
Well, no, the director, and he
Oh.
also directed the I will call it a reboot of The Evil Dead in 2013, and I thought that was a good job. And that was another one where you could tell that he was a fan of the original movie or movies. So I didn't think it was. I thought it was worth seeing. Like I've definitely seen stuff where I was like, wow, wasted my time. I didn't feel like that with this. I thought the aliens they looked good in it. And there was just, I did like the scenes that made you feel like it was an alien movie. The actors though, they weren't great, but I want to give them some.
They were Zoomers.
Yeah, I want to give
That
them
was their
some
problem.
props because I think Hokie sent me this. Somebody told me that the director wouldn't hire anyone that didn't see the old Alien movies. So I respect that on his side, not the actor's side. People auditioned that hadn't seen the original Alien movies, and he was like, no. Next. So that's,
It
I
is weird
understand
that you
why.
wouldn't just lie about that. It's like
I know.
'cause
Well, nowadays they want you to not see the source material, so they probably were just going off of.
True, yeah. But there's
Yeah.
always been a thing in actors where they're like, can you like ride a boat? Can you ride a horse? And they're always just like, yes, 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 yes. And then they go and learn it afterwards. So that they normally do lie as actors, from what I've heard.
Well, it's
Yeah.
called acting for a reason.
Well, not if you've got a skill. Like, they're like, oh, can you sword fight? Yes. Been doing it for the last 20 years. How do you hold a sword?
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, 7 out of 10 for me. The original Alien movies were
Wow.
better. The actors, I understand why he wanted to go younger because he probably wants to maybe continue this and like make a couple more movies and reboot the franchise. But
Well, I mean, it's aliens. Not many are left.
oh,
So-
exactly that too. So I mean, like without going heavily into spoilers, the ones that were
Like who's gonna? Well, I mean, the movie was, I think, effects, set, all that was pretty good.
Mhm.
It looked like an
The-
alien movie.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
did.
that's what I liked about it.
I loved like when the screens on ships came up. Like I felt like I was almost playing the Alien Isolation game. There was
Yeah.
even like the same switches to open doors and stuff like that. So like kudos to them on getting that part really well done. It was a little rocky for me in the beginning because the synthetic guy was acting like such a beta, and I was just like, this story is
Yeah.
so boring. I hate it. I hate these characters. They are hard to understand. All they want to do is travel to this place to get sunlight. The one girl, she's supposed to have like 12,000 hours to be let go to her next planet, which is 9 years away. So you have to go into cryo, so they can't just go by themselves. So then they essentially double it. And then so they're trying to just leave this mining planet, which mining is dangerous. I do like they did think about the story a lot and connecting all these little details. And I think like even on FNT, they didn't even mention this to see the mining incidents before and the reason for doubling the hours really came into play later on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so they did this story. That's why I say 7 out of 10, because it could have been so much worse. If they would have gotten it could have
seven's
been
so
worse.
generous.
I'm giving it
like
points.
it's
I'm
too
giving it
generous.
points because it could have been worse. Like that's the
Yeah.
kind of
Like
state we're in.
it's true, but the story came together. The beginning was a little slow, and I was like, oh crap, like
Slow
Please
can
no.
be fine, but as soon as they go on the ship, and where it turned better for me was when the black guy got the chip that changed him to be an actual like smart guy.
He was way better character when that happened.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, it was so good.
The reason why they did
does
that
not,
is
what did he
you're
say?
sup-
That does not that's not in the company's best interest.
yeah, it's the issue is by making him stupid and thick and like disabled, you're supposed to care about him. It's like a lot of movies will put a young child in because you're just supposed to instinctively care about a small child, so they don't have to make him a character. The issue is those people are annoying. Like, you shouldn't be in this situation. Like, you would be the first to go, and that's how like that would be fine. But then they said, no, we've got to sacrifice ourselves to protect the weak, pathetic one. Like, no, just save yourself. I want to see competent people do things in movies. And so when he actually became strong and tough, like I liked. It's a bit of a spoiler, but there's a point where they have a choice of what to do, and they can either all die or not. I liked that they're just like, no, I'm not doing that. That's stupid. Because in any other horror movie, they always do the most stupid thing you can possibly imagine. Oh,
Yeah.
what's down there in my basement making a noise? Better go down without a flashlight. Wonder what's going to happen here. And so
I have
like
a gun,
it was, like,
but I'm not bringing
sensible.
it.
Yeah, and it was like, no, your life isn't worth all of ours. If it like that was the choice. And so I like that kind of thing. I did think the start was boring. My issue overall was I don't like any of the Alien movies. They're all just kind of, they're not bad, but they're just kind of meh to me. I'm not really a horror kind of person. And if I did like horror movies, it's because there's some kind of twist to it that allowed me to get into the movie. And so I wasn't sure whether I was just like, because it's an Alien movie or because it was bad. But I did find the Zoomers annoying. I
couldn't understand them.
I found the robot annoying, and there was just some really stupid scenes. Like, if you're creeping through an area and you can't make any noise, don't pull out a helmet and start going, hello? It's like, yeah, the door code is 1, 2, and if he does make noise, have him, like, trip over something and they all jump. But don't have them slowly creeping around as this guy is obviously talking into a headset. Just have them immediately go for him. And he's like, oh no, you've really messed up here. And they just all dive on him, and now he's in trouble.
Also, on top of that, okay, so the scene that he's talking about, the aliens are supposedly, they can't see, but they can sense your heat signature. Okay, so they warm up the room to human body temperature. My only gripe with that is when the door opens.
I thought the same. Yeah, now you've got cold air.
The cold air, hot air, they should be able to see them. So I don't understand that.
I just had to kind of in my head go, okay, they didn't say it, but they heated up the
other
area.
side.
Yeah, rather than just one room, it was like, well, I thought it was like both sides. It was just kind of a local zoned
Yeah.
aircon. It's like, oh, okay. But when you're literally talking into something, you're not being quiet. Those things hear
No.
everything.
Yeah, I had the problem when she goes back to save her brother and she's all quiet going up to help him, and then they're just like talking regularly. I'm like,
Oh yeah,
maybe
that-
I don't.
and
like,
the alien
problems
blood
with
scene.
it, but I liked the effects. I thought the effects were great, and just like what X-Ray said, I was definitely getting the alien isolation vibes from it, and yeah, they kind of relied heavily on this scene like right here looks like Ripley, like when Ripley and aliens and stuff. But that's where I say that the director, I feel like this was kind of like his love letter to it. You could tell he was a fan because he was putting a lot of Easter eggs and stuff in it. So
Too many, though, in my opinion.
too many.
Well, yeah,
There was
but
a
if
lot.
they copied more, like the start was just on a mining planet, and they're not near aliens, they're not even on the ship, so I don't care. Like just cut all of that out. It had nothing to do with the story at all. If you want a slow thing in a horror movie, then you've got to have atmosphere and tension. So you have to know something that they don't. Like they have to be stalked. They're getting picked off one by one. That's the kind of way you'd build atmosphere over a longer time. But in this, it was a load of Zoomers on a planet moaning that their life is hard. Like if I want that, I'll go and watch TikTok. Like, oh, I'm in a coffee shop and I have to work 8 hours a day. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care how tough you have to work. This is your life. Get over yourself.
Oh God, I was just thinking. Okay, so there. This is still at the beginning of the movie, so more spoilers. Sorry, chat. The scene where after the Asian lady gets the seed put in her or whatever, and they're running away from the group. Are you just leaving your friends behind? Like you and the a-hole Gen Z guy? Like, what's the point? You just killed your friends. You're an a-hole. Just to save one chick.
The one thing that would have been nice to add is more like, oh, I don't want this person to die. I didn't really feel that. I'll be honest. I didn't feel that with anybody.
No, I was hoping.
I was rooting for the alien.
Right up until the last one, because there was a time where I was like, okay, the movie's over now, and then like, here's another monster, and I hate that. It's like, no, have one ending to your movie. Don't go, oh, but we've got more. It's like, no.
But that's also a callback to.
I know.
Yeah.
I didn't like that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
Anytime a movie's finished, they're like, oh, especially horror movies where they're like, they've shot this guy, they've pushed him off a cliff, they've electrocuted him, and it's all over, and like, finally, the villain's dead, and then he gets back up. I'm like, stop it. Just stop it.
Yeah. The death isn't real unless you see it.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't want to give away the ending, but once like anyone in the chat didn't see it, you'll know what I mean. Where I'm like, they got the ick factor down.
And that was just with the Zoomers.
Yeah, seeing the face huggers like pee seed dropper thing was really gross.
They really zoomed in on that. That was in the trailer. They were so proud.
It kept coming out.
They
Now
really zoomed in on that. They did.
You know, there's people with that on a loop. They're like rewinding it and fast forwarding it.
Wait until Cornhub gets a hold of it.
Oh God. Oh no.
Oh gosh. But you're very generous, Wicked. I was gonna say I'd probably give it around a 4 out of 10. Like it's not like 5 is average, which means it's a okay to good movie,
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it hit the mark for me. The story, they could have improved a bit more on characterizing the characters, or lack of a better word. I wish I felt something for them. The only person I've felt anything for was the synthetic brother.
Yeah, I was gonna say actually, like if he dies, I'm gonna be upset. Sorry, no
He had
spoilers.
an arc.
That's not
But the
really
movie did that-
spoilers, actually.
The
just so
movie
you guys
did that
know.
deliberately. They spent the entire time at the start basically trying to make you feel sorry for him because he's thick. So he's like he's incapable of his eyes. She has to look after him and stuff. But then the first thing they do when everyone gets together is they go on the ship and they're like, yeah, but they're just gonna leave you behind. And none of the humans, even the sister who looks after him, none of them had a problem with doing this. The only moral issue they saw with it is you shouldn't have told him. So we were just going to leave him behind without telling him. That would have been so much better. And so it immediately makes you hate the entire crew because they're horrible to the one guy you've tried to make us feel sorry for. And that's just bad script writing. It's fine if you want to make us hate them. But if they're supposed to be heroes, that's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, well, even the beginning part where it's like the idea of you're working for this mine company and it's not, you got your hours doubled, but you want to go home. Okay, maybe I can relate to that, but like it's basically saying like F you to corporations, I suppose, but it doesn't resonate with me.
I just saw Starbucks workers. That's all I saw. It was just, oh,
Like,
it's so hard. I have
it's
to work
too
tough.
hard. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to work.
There's so many customers this morning. I don't want to go to work again.
And I couldn't relate with that at all. And just they want to go up, find cryopods, steal them, and go to this next planet, and then take advantage of the Andy character. And so they're all pieces of crap.
Zoomers.
Yeah.
It's a different generation. This is my time. I am now the grumpy old fart in the situation. I've waited my entire life for this.
He's yelling at the kids to get off his
I
lawn.
can't
already.
wait.
I'm now
doesn't even have
yelling
a
at
kid
clouds.
You
Zoomer shit clouds.
young kids,
Yeah.
don't
Stay
kick
off
your
my
ball
lawn.
close to this.
He's shaking his whiskey bottle. Get
Can I have
off.
my ball back? No. Just like pop it. No fun allowed.
I can't
Well,
have
I've got
guns,
to
but
go
I
to
got my
work.
butter knife.
Oh no. This brew is the man yelling at the clouds.
Absolutely.
Jesus Davila, thank you for gifting a membership. And
Cheers.
DJ's back. Oh, he's back for
Oh,
some
oh,
more.
oh.
Oh, thank you for the 100. Hold on.
Saucy.
Thank
It's about
you.
to get saucy.
It's about to get saucy. I got nothing to say here other than Disbrew needs a haircut, and Mark, I can still beat you at the 10-meter dash.
Yeah. in the
Wow,
women's
why am I
racing.
catching strays?
Poor Mark. He's like, I just got here.
Yes, beat the cripple in a race, a foot race.
Well, no, if the Olympics proved anything to us, it's that you can now. If you can't compete against one group, just go in the others. I think I could probably win the Special Olympics.
I think Reagan should have competed in the Special Olympics in breakdancing. She probably
Yeah.
still wouldn't get a single
Put me in the
point.
Paralympics
Oh, yeah.
football thing. I think even I can win that one.
Mark's like, bring it on.
Hey.
Mark's just like tying his shoelaces together.
He's ready. Margaret Reality, thank you for the 10. Have you ever seen the old Gary Larson comic where it looks like Snow White walking to the house, but there's a huge snake coming out of the back window with 7 distinct lumps in the middle?
No.
Oh, no.
No.
Sounds dark.
Sounds
but
like the pox.
original. Yeah. Hmm.
No,
No, the original Snow White's really. I just caught what you said. It didn't
Yeah.
register right away. It had to load.
I still
There
didn't
was
get
a
it.
delay.
The pox. This is what it said, sounds like the pox.
Oh!
Yeah, there she,
Oh, well,
there
that
she
was
got
really
it.
delayed. Oh,
Maybe my internet's still not working.
yeah, we could have transmitted that one to like Canada
Oh,
by smoke
God.
signals.
Can I show you my most favorite meme about that? Thanks,
I'll
chat.
just put something up. But Sneaky Singy, thank you for the $10 super sticker. Oh,
Okay. Anyways, I'm done.
oh no. Oh, hold on. Just Brew put something up.
Yeah, I was just gonna say this was basically me during the movie.
You falling
It's a
asleep?
saucy. It's a saucy.
It's a squirrel which has
Eating
got
ferment-
drunk off fermented pears.
Oh!
And if
He's so
you go
cute.
on, like, where is it?
He's so cute.
Oh no, the room's spinning.
He's
And then
so cute.
he goes again, and he's like, "Ah,
Mama, I don't know how to
Too much.
feel.
I've had too much.
oh no, oh the room's spinning."
Dude, we've been there. We've been there. Same.
There's quite a lot of drunken squirrel videos online because they get into. There was one. It got into their pumpkins that they had for Halloween that had all fermented, and he's
think I
trying to
saw
climb this
that.
tree, and he's just going upwards and just falling back every time.
I also like when birds kind of closer to the end of summer season when the fruit's like on the ground and fermented and then they get
Mhm.
drunk and they can't fly.
Yeah,
Oh no.
drunken animal videos are amazing. The thing is, after that, at the end of that video, he just starts going back to eating again. Like, he doesn't learn.
It just is so good. I wonder if he had a hangover the next day.
Probably.
Just like in a
Dave-
tree.
Never
Dave-
again.
Well, because squirrels will just go into anything. So I'm not surprised they get drunk and who knows what else they can get into. Dave Chandler, thank you for the
It's
10.
going to take over the world.
They-
Those
Play
are
old-
rats.
Those freaking spiders in the UK right now. Why?
It's true. They'll win.
Why breed they will because I'm moving. I'm out if they come anywhere near me. Play old Looney Tunes cartoons is a comedy revival theater event. Reserve one theater for Bugs, one for Daffy, and sprinkle Sylvester, Porky, Roadrunner, and the rest in the other theaters. That would be cute. I know kids would definitely love that. I mean, adults too. I loved Looney Tunes. I used to watch it all the time growing up.
I'm questioning Ian right now.
Yeah, I was just gonna click on that. Drunk animal videos are good, but drunk cruise ship captains are better.
Yeah, I've seen the Titanic.
And you know what? I don't know how to undo this. I accidentally highlighted Ian's comment. Like on my end, it's like blue highlighted.
I
There you
saw
go.
a video of two frogs. I don't know if I can find
do
it.
that. There
But
it goes,
it's two
went away.
frogs reenacting the Titanic.
Look for it. I'll read some super chats while you look for it. Gary Thomas, thank you for the 5. Hello, all. I'll admit I only come here for Disparu, but Wicked and X-Ray are cool too.
Oh, thanks, bro. Aw. It's the lesbian
thank you.
haircut, right?
It brings
The
up
one
all
voice
I've got
to
is
the
like
yard.
all I found is like frogs riding on the backs of other animals. One's riding on a snake, the other one's gripped onto a fish, and they use them as transport.
I saw a cute dog video where it's like a chihuahua that rides on like a golden retriever's back everywhere. It's so
Aw.
cute. Anyways, I love animal videos.
They're the best. Jason, thank you for another 5. The 4 horsemen of the Disney apocalypse: Bob Iger, J.J. Abrams, Pablo Hidalgo, and Dave Filoni. I always want to say Fioni. It doesn't matter, does it? Thank you, Jason. Yeah, you're right too. You're right.
I couldn't believe when they had the chance to get rid of Iger, they kept him in. That was when the shareholders did that. It's like, okay,
What's
from
going
this point
on?
on, you deserve everything that's going to happen.
Are
You
they-
chose your life.
Yeah.
You chose this path. It's like a scary movie. They took the bad path. What there was an article. We were talking about it in the group chat. Kathleen Kennedy, isn't she leaving? Or possibly? Is it a rumor right now?
Oh,
The-
she
it's a
said she
rumor.
only will leave on a win.
She's gonna die at
Yeah.
being Lucasfilms.
She's going to be like Walt. They're going to have to freeze her and keep her in the office forever.
Maybe we'll get a cryopod for her.
Oh jeez. Steal one. Gary Thomas, thank you for the 5. Also, in the words of Japanese comedian Yumi Nagashima, of course, Snow White is Asian. She cooks, cleans, and looks after 7 ugly white men.
Nice. This is why
That's a
everyone loves
great line.
Japan.
That's a good
That's
one.
a great line. Is that why I like to cook and clean? Because I'm Asian and a woman.
This why I like to act normally.
Questioning my life now.
The Singing Tigs, thank you for the 5. Hail Saucy Saturdays. The hot
Waifu Tina's.
Waifu Tina's. I had to stop for a second on that. And Les Peru. You got another name.
Well,
I know your name
Danaroo,
gets ever since Uwu Disparuwu, you've been just or Dispy Wispy. I think Dispy Wispy was first, right?
I don't think so, actually. I
Was
think
it
Disparu was
Disparu?
first. Yeah, because that was on like Fortnite.
Oh
really
yeah,
early
that was
on.
before D&D. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever since then, like you just get so many nicknames. I love it.
Dispy Wispy was probably second.
I remember because he died, and then I got a ghost, and I'm like, I'm naming it Dispy Wispy.
Like,
Ian,
Arude starts doing voices for it and stuff. It's like, this is getting weird.
Is this his rendition of me?
thank you for the 50 pounds. Can you ride a boat? Oh, was this when we were talking about? What were we talking about?
A boat.
Or is Ian just having fun in the chat?
Ian, are you drunk right now?
Are you
Are
on
you
the
drunk?
sauce? Are you on the sauce?
It's okay. We're on the sauce too.
No, I think that was earlier, and we just missed what the context was.
Oh, the
No,
drunk captain.
No, that was
Think-
this was from an oh, was it the drunk captains? Okay, because this was like a half hour ago. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up. Sorry, guys.
So confused. Sorry, Ian.
Darth
Wow.
Vader- What?
He did reply before. Sorry,
Oh,
thank you.
It's okay.
I am drunk, but that's not the point. Disbrew said that.
Oh, just Bruce
that's
said it.
It's just
Okay.
like you just asked a Scottish person if he's drunk. So well,
That's
you've
true.
clearly never been to the country before.
I haven't. Maybe one day.
Like Scottish pavements, they're not straight; they're bendy. It's easy for the
Bendy?
natives.
Oh,
Okay.
shots fired. But that's what happens with Ian and Discoro.
He's
I'm
walking a zigzag. I don't know where you took that one.
My brain is just not
You're
functioning.
coming at him for being drunk. I don't know.
It's like if they're drunk sidewalks. Sorry.
It's side to sidewalks.
Yeah, they're like zigzagging. So they sort of stagger one way than the other.
Darth Racer, thank you for the 5. So another aliens movie where humans do dumb things to get killed. How brave.
It's very, very stupid. There's one bit where they kick the accelerator pedal on the ship.
Oh,
and
that
it just
part
goes
was really
perfectly
stupid.
around the ship and then ends up in another dock. And but there were people on the ship. They could have just gone, yeah, moving the ship without a pilot's probably a bad idea, and just pull the thing back
I will
down.
agree. When that part happened, I was like,
What? There's loads of stuff. Oh, we've just been told maybe you shouldn't make this alien blood because you'll literally evacuate all the air into space. And like, look,
Yeah.
if we turn off the gravity, how do you think gravity works? Have you never seen NASA videos where they just have water and it just goes everywhere because it can't stop because it's zero gravity? And oh no, and it reminded me of what was the movie? I think it was Ender's Game, where they go through a zero gravity thing to
One
get to the
second.
end, and they used like all this,
So-
and it was like they were reenacting Ender's Game but with alien blood.
Oh yeah, it's like a little blood maze. The one thing that really bothered me was the character, the pregnant character. Like the movie just couldn't happen without that one character in it because she's literally what pushes the plot. And she's not even that like I want if she at least had a boyfriend who got her pregnant, because we don't know who got her pregnant.
yeah, no.
How Gen Z of her. Not know who the daddy is. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Everyone missed that. Like,
Who
X-Ray
the
was
Zaddy
talking,
is.
and then she stopped for a response, and he went for quite a while, and then Wicked suddenly just went, yeah.
I was just like, okay, I'll keep talking.
Clearly wasn't listening at all. It was just instinct kicked in.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to say that's weird.
whatever.
I'm supposed to say that's
She's
weird.
running the stream. It's fine. It's fine.
It's okay, I'm reading stuff.
I'm
sorry. Sorry, I zoned
Yeah.
out. My bad.
They should have
zoned out, but I was
put
reading something.
they should have put a boyfriend there because then that could have been more. I think people could understand. Okay.
Yeah, no, I was listening. You're right. That there was no. It would have been better if they would have done something like she was seeing someone that was on the ship, right? There was another guy and no one knew they were together, or something like that, where it's like, oh, they could become a family, like there's stakes. It's very cute. Something like that would have been a bit better, I think, than just like just some guy, very Gen Z, as Disbrew would say. So yeah, I agree with that. There was
I don't
it's like
want
you
to say
feel bad, of course.
Gen
Like you don't want
Z.
some I know. I have friends that are Gen Z that probably like, you bitch. I'm just
Well,
kidding.
I mean, we're coming from a generation that watches Maury Povich and Jerry Springer, so
Jersey
like we can't say
Shore and-
anything about that.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, her boyfriend was her brother's best friend. She didn't say that her boyfriend got her pregnant though.
Yeah, she didn't. That was her boyfriend. See, it went over my head.
They didn't make
Yeah, I
that
don't
a
know.
good
It didn't make it very like
obvious. They kept
obvious,
forehead
yeah.
bumping. If they kissed, I would have known.
yeah. Saw 01, member for 3 months. Thank you, Saw. Hi, the beautiful and not fat and not a 5, X-Ray Girl and Wicked. Hi, the wonderful Disbrew. I am listening to you at work right now. Well, thank you, Saw.
Cool.
You're wonderful, Disbrew.
It's one hell of a job. So I can watch YouTube videos.
That's great. Justin Martins, thank you for the 5. Kathleen Kennedy will leave Disney when Disbrew gets a haircut.
Well, tough.
I mean,
Shave it
then
all
she
off
should
She's
have
gonna be here
left.
forever.
Disbrew got a haircut when in Vegas. Lies.
That's true. Yeah.
True.
That was
His
peer
yearly
pressured into it.
haircut will be coming up in a few months or whenever the next
The
meetup
next
is
time
that
he
he's at.
comes to America.
When Miss Nerdrotic
It'll get
gives him a
shaved off
haircut
before
again.
then.
Mark, thank you for the 2. KK is never leaving Disney. Order the cryopod.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I literally think they should just like cryo freezer and then like strap her up to like ropes and then employ like a puppeteer to like control her and just move around the office.
Oh my
Just
god.
give interviews like that.
She could
With like
be
an
a
AI
decoration.
voice. Like Disney could be the first AI run company. They just take everything she's done and you code the AI to choose the worst possible answer in any situation.
I mean, yeah. We've seen Skynet in movies.
Yeah, but the problem with Skynet is that it was actually competent. The aim of a Kathleen Kennedy AI would make it deliberately incompetent. Like, this is... You would want it like the robot from the start of Aliens. That's what you're going for with Kathleen Kennedy. You'd be a great replacement.
It would
amazing.
be a lateral movement, honestly. I mean, let's just give it Disney to some algorithm versus the people who are dragging it down. Because Disney, I don't think, is doing well in the long run.
Not.
You just have to look at the movies that are like successful, and people are like, yeah, but they're still supported by the parks. Yeah, but the parks are supported
They're
by
not
the
doing
IPs.
that great either.
They're not.
Well, yeah, because the parks are supported by the IP, so as the IPs go down, there will obviously be a lag where people still like the stuff. But if you don't like Star Wars, why would you go to a Star Wars park? So they have to make new content and stuff for this. And every
Absolutely.
time they come out with a bad movie, they kill an extra bit of the park. Like, if you come out with a bad Snow White movie, well, no, there's a load of people that no longer care about the Snow White in your stuff.
Yeah. And you didn't
your
capture
park.
a new generation either. So you lost
Yes.
your current audience and no new audience. Good luck, guys.
And the ones which are still going are the ones that believe in the ideology, and they're not having kids. So they can't even pass it down to their kids that don't exist. Like all your Disney adults and stuff that are like in a permanent state of childhood. They can't pass it down to the next generation either.
And you're going to want to be careful going to Disney parks, doing anything with Disney, signing up for Disney Plus, because you have signed away your rights in perpetuity to sue Disney as a company.
Or at least that's what they're trying to claim, yeah.
Well, so far, I mean, I'm interested in that one case. Oh my God, it's Chris Gore. Did Peru again?
Did Peru.
Did Peru?
It's girls' night every Saturday.
Every Saturday.
He's a resident lesbian.
Yeah. I'm just a really bad woman as I don't like wine.
I mean,
Or Trulies.
to
So
be
far,
fair, there's
It's just
some.
like women seem to have horrible alcoholic taste.
Shut up, you.
No,
Trulies
wine's
are great.
disgusting. Truly's disgusting.
We need to
At
try.
least
Have you
you've got
tried White
cocktails.
Claw?
Cocktails are nice. But
Oh yeah, because they're so sweet. That's why.
well, yeah, but if you're like, oh, well, okay, this is how you make a good drink. Why then not just put that in a can rather than Truly?
Oh, because the sugar. I don't want to drink sugar.
Yeah.
You
Then
can make
just drink
drinks taste nice
whiskey.
without just pouring sugar. That's a very yeah.
Pour some sugar. Anyways. You might get hit, Wicked. That was like 1-to-1.
Yeah, okay.
Indistinguishable.
Yeah, Ian gets it. Wine is
Yay!
wonderful.
Ian, we'll have a glass of wine.
He's Scottish. He'll drink anything. You could have put paint thinner on the screen. He'd be like, "Yep, that is a nice. That is a nice vintage."
I have seen Ian. I have seen people drink hand sanitizer. Would you?
That's some serious alcohol.
Yeah.
I remember.
Not as that I want the 0.01% in it.
Oh God, it's really crazy because when people are addicts and they come to the hospital, you could tell. This
I'm
one guy
sure.
was just like, he was so you could tell. And he's like, "Can I get the hand sanitizer?" And I go, "Yeah, we don't have that here. You'll have to ask the nurse back there. I'm not giving you hand sanitizer, so you could just drink it in front of me."
Rick and Mortis, I am scared because you know what nail polish remover tastes like. That's more worrisome to me.
See, I would say that was more vodka.
Yeah.
Wine tastes like rotting grapes. Like, it just tastes like what
Yeah.
it is. You have the initial burst of fruitness, and then there's just the rotting.
Delicious.
No.
My
How dare
Prosecco's
you.
gone.
How dare you? Go get more drinks.
I have to pop open a new bottle of prosecco. It'll take me
Oh,
a minute 'cause
no.
I get
The
scared.
struggle.
It's the one that goes like I'm always afraid that I'm gonna break something. It takes me a minute to open those bottles. Okay.
Like, is it? Do you have one of these ones?
No, it's the one where I gotta like do the twisting and then it's like champagne. I gotta go.
Oh,
This is such a woman conversation. It's like, hey, wine's so hard to open. Yeah, but do you have a
Not
a,
wine.
a corkscrew?
I do
course
have one of
you're
those for my wine.
Have you discovered the magical tool that the men invented?
this is hey, my favorite wine bottle opener is the simple one that opens like a army Swiss like knife.
Same, Ed.
Oh, I thought you were
It-
going to say the pump.
Oh yeah.
No, I hate that one. I tried
Hey,
and
chat,
like
love that
I
one.
worked really hard on it. Even
Like, the
used my
stream viewers would go up
dominant arm.
10% if you open bottles with that.
I threw it out because I hated it. That much. And it ended up popping independently like 10 seconds later because I put so much air in it. Anyways.
Oh, yeah, because, yeah. Well, the entire point is the pressure, isn't it? Use it as a weapon. You just see, like, Mark go past the door, you're like, if I time this correctly.
Champagne bottles have hurt people, okay? You never
So
know.
I need
I actually
time
love
to
those
open
videos.
it.
Yeah,
Like they can
the-
break their nose. Yeah. Or that too. Break. You guys are gonna hear it, then the stream's gonna end. It's gonna pop over here like knock over my PC.
I think the most common one is people just shatter their lights. And so the last thing you see on the video is like a crash, and then the entire video just goes dark, and people scream. Like, that's what normally happen.
I am actually what pump are you talking about for opening wine bottles? I have an electric one, which is very nice, and then I have the regular one. What's a pump?
There's
Air
a hand pump. And so you have the
Sounds
wine
more
bottle,
difficult than it needs
and then
to
you have
be.
the lid, and you have to pump air into the lid. And so you can imagine why people would like to
Okay,
watch
so
it.
this is what it looks like.
Yes.
This picture on the right.
Okay.
So you stick that like needle bit into the cork, and then this part here you have to like, pump it up and down.
Pump it up. Pump it
and
real good.
down and up and down, and yeah, it's
Mhm.
supposed to apparently pop the cork out. Didn't work
Well, yeah,
very
That
well for
seems
me.
that seems like way too much work. I have the regular one, like you just showed, and then I have an electric one where you just hit the button, and then you hit another button, and it
Yeah.
pulls it out.
Tubbs
So much more
is
simpler.
really good at it. I don't like she demonstrated and she's really good at it. I don't mean that as a joke. I mean like
No, you meant it as a compliment.
yes. I don't know why I'm laughing.
Yes, you do.
Funny.
She's
You
got
do.
skills. She's got
You know,
skills.
I'm gonna go get a Truly because I'm not opening another
Discrew's
bottle.
just like, ugh, disgusting.
It is disgusting. Like,
I'd be
all
right
of them are
back.
horrible.
Be happy, Discrew.
We really should get you to try like some White Claw and like film you either liking or hating it. So just all the seltzers.
I hear a lot about White Claw, because I watched Tim the Tatman quite a bit, and he loves White Claws. In fact, his chat always take the piss out of him. It's like, how on earth can a guy your size get drunk on White Claw? But he's like, no, I just drink them in large
How
quantities.
big is Tim the Tap Man? I've heard of him, but I
Big.
don't know what he looks like. Tim the Tap Man. Does he actually tap dance?
No, tat, as in tattoo.
Oh, I've been hearing his name wrong the entire time.
Yeah, it's because he's got loads of tattoos on him.
Okay, okay. Oh, he's a big boy. Oh my god,
Yeah.
his forearm looks huge. He's like what, 6, probably 2, 3.
Well, he used to be bigger and then he lost weight, but he said, because he works out a lot and stuff, but like he tries to stay at that weight as he is, because he says his wife doesn't like him getting smaller because she thinks he looks weird, like out of proportion or something, so she prefers him that way, so he stays at that weight. Is what he said before.
She's probably just used to him being like a big boy. I'm trying to find. Oh, here.
Yeah, but he thinks he looks weird at smaller weights as well, because he did lose a lot of weight, so he could have just kept going, but he's kind of stayed where he is.
I need to see like a full body. Oh God, he's at 5 million subs. Holy crap!
Oh, I
Good
can
for
probably
him.
get a picture. Oh yeah, he's really popular. He's one of the people that moved over from Twitch to YouTube and just kind of kept his audience. Like
Good for
they followed
him.
him.
Good for him. Wonder if you said he drinks White Claws and he gets drunk off of it.
Yeah, it's what he does all the time. One of the funny things with him is I forgot where I was going with that sentence. His audience always take the piss out of him, like with his weight and stuff. So every time like a fat bald guy appears in any game whatsoever, they just say it's him, and they'll just send him pictures of like various different fat bald.
Oh my god, he's
Well,
like
I
Gary
didn't know
with
you were
any old man. You know?
Well, there's been people like in
Who? What are you
various
talking
like
about?
Tim the
videos
Tat
and stuff.
Man.
I'm like, oh, just saw you over here. He's like, oh, come on, bro.
Yeah. Every old white haired character is Gary in any game. There's
Every
tons of them.
every wizard is Gary.
Yeah. It doesn't even have to be a wizard. You know?
You're a wizard, Gary.
Well, no, we saw a wizard and she was like, she took a selfie. She's like, it's Gary.
It's Gary.
I forgot where we saw that. Where were we?
It was
I don't remember.
at Universal.
Oh yeah.
Are
That's
you
right.
allowed to show topless blokes? I think you are.
Yeah. It's just women. You can't. Unless it's for learning purposes. Maybe. Yeah.
It's because it's a full body shot. The thing is, he has lots of videos of him just like topless, like all the time. There was even one he did when everything came out at Dr. Disrespect. His video about him and Dr. Disrespect was just him by a pool topless. So, like, it's the kind of way you need to be with anything online. It's like he does not care at all.
It's true. Are you trying to pull something up?
He is.
Well,
he is.
X-Ray
I
wanted
wanted
a
to see a
full
full
body-
body picture of Tim the
Yeah.
Tat Man.
Now, I'm not sure how old this is, but I imagine it sort of is at least similar.
Let's see. Let's see.
I got
I pulled it up in the
Blueberry, by
wrong
the way.
browser again.
God dang it, Disparu!
Every
Ooh,
time.
nice.
Clean
The blue
up
ass.
your tabs.
Well, no,
God.
it's because Brave and Chrome look the same.
They kind of do. Well, you could change the color of Chrome to.
I use Brave.
Well, I use Brave, but when it's on this, I use Chrome because the other one has too many tabs. Yeah, she's like, I don't want you to go beneath that. Now, there are photos of him as well with, like, a flat stomach and stuff, so,
I
yeah.
don't know who this is.
This is Tim the Tat Man.
Yeah, I've heard the name, but first time seeing him. You
It's
guys
okay.
know I'm a terrible content creator. I don't know anybody.
I mean, I
he's a
called him the
game
Tap
streamer,
Man, so.
That sounds
Yeah,
kind
she
of
thought
cooler.
he tap danced. She says, does he tap dance for real? I'm like, no, tat. As in
Oh,
tattoo.
no. Oh, you tapped? I thought you were saying tap too. I was like, what does he tap like beer kegs?
This must be a woman thing. It's like,
No,
wait, that's even weirder. You thought
We
you
can
meant beer?
understand You.
We
can
just don't listen to
understand
men.
you.
It's fine.
No.
We just
Men
can't
have literally
understand your
evolved the
thick
ability to block you
accent.
out, so that's fair. Literally just a switch. Like, he forgot to do the dish. No, he never heard you in the first place. It's a skill.
It's true. It is. I
that passed
remember
down
I grew
from
up, you know, I
fathers
had-
through the generations.
my brothers, like, it's you ask something and it's just like they know how to mute us.
Mhm,
Not just women though, and like guys have a gift where they could just not listen to anybody. Like they just
Yeah.
Yep.
turn it off. I wish.
One of my favorite things is like women on Twitter going, guys say this and it seems to be real. And they're like, when they're like, so what are you thinking? And they just go, nothing.
See?
And they're like,
Not
"It
just the
seems they-
girls."
They seem to not to be joking. They can literally just think about nothing. It's like, well, I mean, it's that or trying to be like, if you be like, well, you know, I was thinking about how many fruit pastels it would take to choke a kestrel. It's probably easier to just say nothing than whatever weird thing. My favorite memes are where you've got the couple in bed, and she's like, I bet he's thinking about cheating on me. And he's like, what would happen if Formula One was set on the moon? And it's
Oh
just
my
like a
god,
really
those
weird
memes are
question.
hilarious.
Yeah, I love those.
But yeah, I love those memes too. Like when it's like, I bet you he's like cheating on me and he's sitting there, like playing World of Warcraft with his friends.
Yeah.
Dave Chandler, thank you for the 5. JSM equals just some guy. NGG equals not Gal Gadot. You know she has. This is so off topic, but you know she has a macaroni and cheese brand called Goodles. I want to try
No.
them. I want to try them. It's like a brand, like, you know, there's Kraft mac and cheese and stuff. I actually seen it at the store today, and I remember seeing a video where someone was trying like celebrity and influencer products, and that was in it. And I was like, she has her own mac and cheese, and supposedly it's really good. So I kind of want to try it.
I mean, I imagine somebody just messaged her like, she want to be on her mac and cheese and stuff. But most celebrities in her kind of status would they go like perfume or fashion brand or something. That's a really weird choice to go with.
Maybe she's like a mac and cheese connoisseur.
Like, I want to corner
Maybe.
the market on mac and cheese.
What would you guys want? I think I already know what X-Ray is gonna say, but like if someone was like gonna put your name on some food, what would you want? Like if it was your brand, what kind of food?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't even thought. Give me a second. I'm gonna think.
What about you, Disbrew?
Well, I mean, it depends where you
I
want
know
to go,
you don't
right?
like
Because
food, but
well, no, but like whiskey would be the obvious thing, and it'd have advantages if you had your own whiskey. You could just get it at cost price. So there's like advantages there. You've also got like, well, you're English,
Dispy
and therefore you could
whiskey.
sell tea.
That would be cute. Dispy's whiskey.
Dispy whiskey.
Just
Oh,
be
that's-
whiskey.
That's actually really cute.
Yeah, no,
Swirl
when
on
you're
it,
selling a
and
whiskey,
then
you
and
don't
a-
want to
a
go
whiskey
for
glass.
cute. There aren't that many women that drink whiskey, so
Well, you
no
would
guys
start
go.
it
It
"I'm
has to
buying
be like
whiskey
a
because it's cute."
manly name.
Well, exactly. That's the whole point of like for blokes.
No, I want Dispy whiskey with a squirrel holding a whiskey glass on it.
That actually would be cool. I
Yeah,
would
but
drink it.
This is like Disney trying to get women in to see superhero movies. It's like you can't make a whiskey brand for
Okay.
women. It doesn't. It could go bankrupt immediately.
What
Like,
if
well, it's cute.
what if the squirrel has muscles?
It's like, have you ever seen?
Oh my god. The
the-
squirrel's not a good mascot.
A while ago, there was a push, right, to try and get men to use like moisturizer and like makeup and all this kind of facial stuff.
Only in Korea would that work.
Well, they tried it and it still exists, but it's interesting when they'll show like, and even like shampoo. There's like male branded shampoo and stuff, just rather than just like using body wash for your hair. But all the women stuff, it's like flowery and nice. It's like, oh, you know, we've got this rare product that only exists from the anal glands of a chipmunk that's delivered on a golden leaf somewhere, and
Why
that's
did
like
you go
cost
to
20
anal
quid.
glands?
That's disgusting.
Women put weird stuff into things.
I don't
but
use
when,
anal
when it's
glands.
the men's
Me
product,
neither.
it's just like a black bottle. And there was literally, like, unironically, there's an advert about men's moisturizer shown in the UK, and it basically said it makes your face bulletproof. It was literally like tanks going through bricks and like walls knocking down and missiles coming in. And then it was just in a black bottle, and it was like men's moisturizer. And that's what men want. They were, oh, it looks cute with the squirrel.
Oh, I want that. I never saw that one, Ian. I
You
mean,
don't drink whiskey. This is Disney's
Sometimes
exact
I
issue.
have
There's a
whiskey
load of women
sometimes.
going, well, you know, superhero movies would be great if it had women in them. Yeah, but you know what? They don't buy them.
I never said that.
Okay, I thought about it. I want ramen noodles.
X-rays ramen. Just you with pointing to a nice
Yeah,
bowl.
I just thought about it. I was like, I would have like a regular ramen and keto ramen because I want ramen noodles and I can't have it.
Aw. I
How do
probably
you
would
even
just
have
go
keto
with
ramen. Like, how do you make ramen without
I
carbs?
have no idea.
Oh.
Gluten-free?
I thought you had like a recipe.
Would it be like
Gamer
gluten-free,
Supps.
maybe?
They have keto noodles where it's like less carb. I don't know what they make it out of.
I don't know how you make noodles without flour.
I would go with probably ravioli. Mm.
Because you're Italian, right?
Well,
Be
this is,
quiet,
no,
this
no
is
one said
true.
like an American or a Canadian thing. It's quite disappointing.
Oh, I
Sorry.
get. Well, I don't think selling wise, me selling maple syrup is going to
Or
be
poutine
helpful.
fries.
Yeah, I got made fun of because I was like, yeah, cheese curds and poutine are squeaky.
Yeah, no, well, to be fair, this was on FNT, and she said, what was this? It feels squeaky in my mouth.
It does.
That was the issue. This is like saying you could smell colors. It really smells
people
blue, that
can.
one.
Maybe I don't know.
Well, no, there's a medical, there's a genuine medical name for it, where bits in your brain can, like, cross-wire. And so some people can smell colors. They will say that smells blue. But
Mhm.
it's like, literally their senses are joining up where they shouldn't. But it was just a weird thing where you're like, yeah, it
Squeaky in my mouth.
feels like a sound. It's just weird to say.
Say what you mean, though. It's weird to say, but it's a thing.
That's like when, the moment you said I want ramen, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna sort of corner the poor demographic. That's what, when anyone says like ramen or noodles, I just go back to student days. It was like, how can I live on 23p a day? Oh, noodles. Like, it's every
Noodles.
student over here goes through
Mac
the same
and
thing.
cheese. It's true though.
Oh, wait, there you go. And well, mac and cheese, to be fair, if I make it now, I make it
Big D
homemade.
whisk.
Hey, that's a great name.
Saucy.
Sorry, were you saying something when I hit that?
Yeah,
Oh, I
we
just
only sell it
said
in 2-liter bottles.
Big D.
The biggest whiskey around.
Want to at least have a squirrel with muscles? No? Fine.
What, you like a bodybuilder squirrel?
Yeah.
I think you could come up with some kind of squirrel logo that'll look good. That's the thing
Yeah.
with logos. I think you can probably fit most things into most things.
Or just
That's
like
what she said.
or a squirrel with a monocle because you're British.
It's just when you were like, well, that's the thing. You can like brand animals. One of the reasons behind the squirrel actually came from Tim the Tatman at the time. I say most of my things are reference to somebody else. The squirrel is from Tim the Tatman because he has a penguin next to him at all times, and so I just wanted like an animal thing, and I've always kind of liked squirrels. That's where
I
that came
mean,
from.
you're like Ace Ventura when he's like, "Come to me, my animal." The squirrels come to
Well,
you.
I
You
am in
feed them.
tabletop.
I've never fed
I have,
a
like,
squirrel.
A little horde of rats and bats and wolves following me around.
Wow.
To the point where a Rudai is literally like, well, it's kind of just if you find them, you can't keep them with it. We're like, no, I want rat pets. I want pet rats. Like I can store her in my
It's
body.
like, no, I'm keeping
Like-
all of the squirrels. Don't tell me what to do.
Literally before the campaign started, I was like, oh, this brewer's just gonna be like a generic goth emo edgy boy character. The moment the first episode aired, they were just like, he really likes rats. I was like, he's so nice to these little creatures.
I think I've offended Ian. Is Ace Ventura your hero? I'm sorry. He is not.
Ace Ventura is just like your average drunken Scottish man, just out on the streets making friends with the vermin. I didn't mean the Scottish. I should have done, but I didn't.
Warren, thank you for the 5. I know exactly what you mean, X-ray girl. 14 years in an ER with radiology here.
Oh, the people
Oh, was it
drinking hand sanitizer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just liked how that super chat made it sound like they'd locked him in. So yeah, I've been here for 14 years. They won't let me leave.
Reference.
They keep saying if I work another 12,000 hours, I'll
It
escape.
felt that way sometimes with COVID.
Yeah, but at least you get
Oh, I
to shove
bet.
babies into tubes. Look, everybody, like just every cloud, right? Oh no, it's
I mean-
been a really tough day, but at least now I can shove a baby into a tube.
Honestly, if I can fit the child in there, I'm going to put the child in there because the pictures just are so much better.
I saw a video. It's a cat. No, it's a rabbit going through. What's the big like circular machine? Is it MRI?
CT? Or
Yeah.
it's both. There's CT and MRI. So
Okay, well, I just noticed there's like a big
Hiya,
circular
Little
scanner
fish.
thing.
Oh, the ending, yeah. That's I told
Yeah.
anyone we didn't like spoil it, but I was like, it made me like, ugh. It was very yeah. It was something else. Agreed. It's something that it's probably gonna like be stuck in my head for a bit, that image. Like it's not gonna go away for a little while.
it didn't what did they equate? Someone equated that character to the Slender Man.
Yeah, actually. Yeah. But creepier. At least the Slender Man has got a suit on.
Okay, if you could share that. This is a rabbit going
Oh.
through a CT scan.
Oh, they are.
Okay,
No.
Okay.
it is literally they've just wrapped him up and literally taped in there, and he's like, "Well, I
He's
guess
over
I should
it.
go to sleep."
No, actually, I think that they
Aw.
sedated the rabbit.
They definitely did. That thing is chilling.
Yeah, that he is out and just literally wrapped up.
Wonder why he's there.
I'm
Did
like,
he
this
break
is
something?
amazing.
Did he hurt himself?
maybe
Look,
they're
well, he's-
they're scanning the head, I think. Because normally what you or the abdomen and chest area, you don't want to scrunch the arms up around their body like that. But I
oh, because
mean,
the bones will get in the way. Yeah.
well, I mean, I say this, but the thing is so small, so it probably wouldn't cause any like issues with the image because it's so tiny. Dang,
Really?
poor bunny.
A dolphin. You know, I don't remember Prometheus. I remember not liking it though. I'd have to go back and compare.
It was, yeah, it was. I think it was supposed to be one of those creatures, but then because it had been taken from like a third-party proxy, like DNA had mixed together, and so it wasn't an exact clone of those. But when it first popped out, definitely what you were supposed to see. And I can't remember who it was. Was it Comics who said that throughout the entire movie they just kept showing vaginas? Like throughout the entire movie.
Oh my God! Okay, so
Everything was. With that thing on the wall.
Oh my God! And he
walk up
put
to it and
that
stuff,
like
that
electric thing up the vagina and goes.
Up the.
Well, no, that's the thing. It just looked like one, and the way it came out was just like a. I think it was just meant to make women hate giving birth. Because you have obviously the ending scene, but even in that scene, right, it was an alien with a really long head that came out vertically, and it was just like, this is what's going to happen to you. And I know people are like, oh, you write too much into this kind of stuff, but I genuinely think for a long time there has been a lot of things which just make women dread giving birth, and I think that's literally what all this. It was meant to make it look as horrific as possible.
I mean, I wouldn't want to give birth to an alien, but that's,
Well, no, not an alien, just in general, because like a lot of the stuff's designed to be like subconscious, and I think what you're seeing, even if it's not like intentionally meant to affect other people, I think what you're witnessing is like the base emotions of the creators, and so because the people in Hollywood hate that, you're witnessing like their feelings about the matter go through into the movie, and so they're always they make it seem like the most horrific, painful, disgusting thing you can ever go through, and they forget that not only have women been doing this for thousands of years, but they generally go back for more. So it can't be that bad.
Yeah, I got nothing. Mark, thank you for the $10.
You saw the movie.
I
You know how horrific they made it all look.
It was
with a big long head that just comes back and just basically splits the egg in half. There was a comedian who said with his wife, the worst time that he's ever had in his whole marriage is when they were discussing what was going to happen during birth, and somebody said the line, "Would you like a cut or a tear?"
Cut or tear?
Oh yeah, because you sometimes get the bottom of it. Oh yeah. Anyways.
Well, yeah, but the thing was, actually, it may have been Shapiro.
Hold on, Mark,
I think
you're
he
in
said
the
this.
queue.
And he said, the problem is that his wife's a doctor, as he says all the time, but they said, well, a cot is obviously, it's the more natural and cleaner way of going. And he's just like, no. And they apparently went through this entire meeting about babies, got back to the house, and his wife was just like, that was nonsense. And then they basically just lied to them for hours.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I haven't given birth, so.
Mark,
We
thank
need
you for
mini
the
marks.
10.
It just
Mini
comes out with
marks.
like a carbon fiber leg like already attached.
Yeah, our
already
baby's gonna only
cybernetic.
have one leg. Obviously, that's how genetics work, right?
Yes. That would be amazing if it came out with a carbon. It was already like half carbon fiber.
That's part of his DNA at this point, guys.
You're like we've got an athletic genius. Like he's lighter.
We'll probably come out with a beard too.
Yeah,
Mark without a beard.
we know
weird.
there'll be an absolute Chad with the acrophilias or whatever it was.
Oh, I forgot the word. God dang it, Jason.
Mark, thank you for the 10. When I was at USMC boot camp a long time ago, I remember 2 recruits getting drunk from pounding Listerine mouthwash. Wow.
They were pondering it. They just had the
I
bottle
don't know how
there.
I
They're
saw
like, well,
pondering.
it is an interesting
Wow.
ingredient list, isn't it? Yes. Have you ever considered this philosophy?
You offended Ian. I think X-Ray said it. Thank you for the 50 pounds,
Whoopsies.
Ian. Wow, went from me admitting to being a bit tipsy to would you drink hand sanitizer, Ian?
Yeah.
You said you were drunk, not a bit tipsy, to be fair.
You're like,
You
well,
said you
you
were
didn't really say
Scottish.
anything.
And
said
you
that's not
drink
the point.
anything.
Yes.
Oh no.
I was just trying to see if that was true. You don't have
Drink
to drink
anything
it.
and eat anything as long as it's battered. That's Scottish culture.
Battered? Like fried?
Well, yes, but we call it battered,
Oh, okay.
which is
Okay.
also the term that you would use if you beat somebody up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got battered.
I've used that. They got battered, yeah.
Interesting.
Well, for me, it's like, I guess that makes sense, but you batter it and then fry it. But I mean, that's just how it is
no,
over
you
here.
batter
But
it and then you just put it in the oil and it comes out.
yeah, if you said
I
something like a
love
beer
fried
battered
food.
fish, you know it's
We'd
fried.
call it
So
beer battered.
Yeah.
There's enough alcoholics. You don't need beer in it. You're making them worse.
Hey,
You're
I
actually
didn't invent it.
evolving the Scottish.
Well, it doesn't make you drunk.
Oh
Sneaky
yeah,
Sneaky
putting
for
beer in
9.
food doesn't make you drunk.
No, it cooks. It cooks. You fry it. There's nothing in there. There's no alcohol left. Sneaky Sneaky, thank you for the $9.99.
How do
If
you
you
think
still here-
reality works?
Well, no, because I don't know
the
if
beer just
I used to
vanishes.
serve beer battered fish at my pizzeria and like kids would eat it and stuff. There's not actual like
Do
beer
you
in
remember
it.
like the Christmas sauces and stuff, and you're there like pouring port and wine into all the sauces, going, no,
No.
the moment I put this on the stove, it's gone.
Yeah.
You're like staggering from side to side around the house. It's a good job I got rid of all the alcohol.
Yes, exactly. If he's still here, thank you, Chris Gore, for recommending the coffee table on Father's Day weekend.
Oh God,
Sneaky
I
Sneaky
haven't
for
watched
9.
that.
A
Chris
few
said
people-
I haven't seen it either.
There's been a few ships. I think somebody said that on FNT. I don't know whether it was you, Sneaky. Sorry, I can't remember the name. Somebody on FNT thanked the same thing. Oh yeah, it was a really good recommendation about the coffee table.
I want to
And-
watch
Just
it.
sad. Seems like
Wh-
it's sad.
No, I don't know.
Well, no, the only thing we know, and Chris said this specifically, so no spoilers, is that you shouldn't even look up reviews. Don't look up what it's about. Just watch the movie. So I'm assuming there's some kind of twist in it because so far I've obeyed the rules. But I should watch it. I might watch it tonight.
Jason,
my-
thank
my-
you for another 5. Go ahead.
My only horrific thing is the last time I got to watch a movie like that was when Lethal Lightning told me to watch some movie. And I
Oh,
didn't
God.
watch
You
the
gotta be
movie,
careful.
but I did
Lethal's
look up what it was.
recommendations.
And oh
Careful.
boy, like it was
Oh,
one of the
boy.
most horrific stories ever. I was like, wow. So yeah, it starts normally. It's like, okay.
Jason, thank you for another 5. Coming soon from the makers of Evil Dead and Alien Romulus, Pigs in Space, directed by Fede Alvarez. I never know how to pronounce his name. Pigs in
Fede.
Space.
Is he actually making a movie called Pigs?
I don't think so. I think that
It's
was
a joke.
Oh, okay.
And Dave Chandler, thank you for that 50.
Damn.
I haven't been playing any
Damn.
clips. I'm reading about early colonial life in America. People were so afraid of waterborne
Mhm.
diseases that the safest thing to drink were alcoholic beverages. That's also why pirates drank a lot of liquor
Yeah,
too,
and-
like wine and
It fixes
Rum.
things too.
That was common in
yeah.
everything. Like that was why I think that's why beer was done. It's literally called liquid bread for the same reason.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Beer's filling. I never used to like beer. I can't drink a lot of it,
Guinness.
like
God
one or
dang.
two. But yeah, alcohol content was nothing compared to today. But beers, wines, and liquors were everywhere. Yep.
There is a thing where, and I still don't know whether it's true, but I've heard it like since I was a kid, that in Russia they don't count beer as alcoholic because they used to drinking whiskey, and so
It's weak sauce.
just relative. They're like, yeah, that's not even, like that. There's nothing in that really. We're just, we won't count it. I need to meet like an authentic Russian to find out whether that's true or not, though.
Any
And
Ruskies in here?
we know why you want to meet a Russian. He wants to meet a nice Russian girl.
Yes.
A guy can tell me whether this is true or not.
Yeah.
Me liking the
sure.
Russian accent, like, it's
Sure.
entirely so.
Sure,
it's
Jan.
entirely coincidental.
Market reality for 10. Isn't Gal Gadot some kind of special forces chick? Hand-to-hand combat training from her husband, who was an instructor. All that plus model hot made her the perfect Wonder Woman. She was a great Wonder Woman.
That
for
country
sure.
has compulsory service, which is probably where you're getting that from. I don't know whether she was in special forces or not, but everybody there needs to enter the military. So they've all gone through some training.
Interesting.
Okay, I didn't know that. Well,
Well, this is why you end up with so many pictures of like hot military women, because they make everybody go through it. And what do women
Okay.
do? They take selfies. So
But
men
first,
with
let me take a
selfies of women in military uniform with guns.
Okay, guys, I don't know what this means. IDF. In the
Israeli Defense Force.
oh, okay, there you go.
It's just the
Thank
name
you.
of their military.
Thank
Okay, I
you.
remember hearing something about that actually, that she was in some kind of, I guess that, okay.
Well, they all are. Yeah, it's just a few countries have it where you have to be in the military for a couple of years and then you can go on with the rest of your life.
I respect
Probably-
like Korea for doing that. South Korea with the males.
It's probably a good idea because, like I had it when I was younger. The education system was too easy, And so I never really needed to try. Then I hit university, and suddenly, like, you go up a level, and I needed to try, but I wasn't in the habit of it. So I was lazy as hell. I'm still lazy as hell. And so I think that what those couple of years do is they teach you, like, a regimen. They teach you to the stuff that you need to do and it's your duty to do. And I think getting that in at like 16 or 18 or whenever they go in is probably a good idea for most people.
I think Brazil does the same, or am I crazy? I remember talking about that at some point with Dan.
I
Think
don't know.
so.
Brazil
Maybe.
specifically.
It would be nice if he came to answer our questions. I need to know about the coffee. You need to know
Yeah, I mean,
about
we've said his name. What else can we do?
I know.
God,
we did
he's
the
the
damn clip.
worst.
How is he not
Just the
magic?
worst. Market Reality, thank you for another 5. If a person says that smells blue, it actually means they've taken some LSD. Checks
I
out.
can believe that. I can believe that.
Jason, thank you for a 5. X-Ray Girl is 100% correct. Real Wisconsin cheese curds are advertised as squeaky, both the sound and the texture when you eat them.
Look, no, I will accept squeaky as a sound. It can't taste squeaky. Like, no,
No, it feels squeaky.
it can't feel squeaky.
Yes, it can.
No,
Yes.
it's an audio thing.
I'm making it. I'm living in my like illusion, disillusion right now.
This is literally because you consume so many dogs. They're like, oh yeah, my prey squeaks when I bite into it, and you've basically.
How dare you talk
have,
about my dogs like that?
you have taken on their persona that they associate squeaking with food. That's what's happened here. But once you enter the dog in its own toy, and you're like, this is amazing.
Yeah, I give them love bites all the time. They don't squeak. They're used to it.
No, their prey is supposed to squeak, not the dogs.
That's why the squeaker toy is inside a lot of those like toys, because it's supposed to mimic like them
Yeah,
squeaking as they die.
No, it is literally you have caught a rat and it's trying to escape. Like once you work out like the psychology of a dog's toy, it's actually quite horrific.
Oh, and the
They're
crackly
like, yeah, I'm
sound
hurting
too.
it. And like,
It's bone
Same with
breaking.
cats. Yeah, same with cats.
have you seen the video? There was a guy put a camera on his pet cat just to see like
Oh,
what
so
happened when he went
cute.
around, and it literally just. So he started watching the video back. His cat is an arsehole. All it does, it goes around the local area and bullies every other cat. There's one, it goes up, and it literally just walks with his cat and starts like attacking it for no reason whatsoever. The cat runs off, and his cat chases it, and it's zigzagging all over the place, desperately trying to get away, and his cat's like, no, I need to fight
See,
it.
I just scrolled past it. If I can find it, we could
It's
like-
such an amazing video. It is literally what happens when you're like, oh, my cat's so cute. It's adorable. I wonder what it's going to do. And you're like, you imagine it's going outside and it's like dancing with fish. And like, you know, it's like a Snow White movie. The squirrel's there. And it's like, oh, let me stroke you. This is amazing. It's like giving
Wait,
food
you-
to all the other. No, your cat is an arsehole and nobody else wants in the area. It's like a crime boss.
Are you sure about that, Ian? I'd like to see a camera on Disparu. You'd watch a lot of bad TV.
Wait, it would be the same image, just reversed. That's all it'd be. You'd just be seeing my computer monitor.
Oh,
What
God.
does this
God,
brewer do in a
Velma.
day? Probably what you'd expect.
Oh, here I have it. I
You see
found
some
it.
milk.
Yeah, it's like sleeping and on the computer. Yeah, this is it. Yeah,
Is he want to fight another cat?
The poor
Yeah.
cat.
this is the thing. It starts with him going, "I'm attacking the other cat," but the other cat just wants to retreat, and he just chases him. And you're like, okay, so he's probably in his territory or whatever. No, this cat is like doing everything to avoid him, and he's going around bikes all over the place, and he chases him for ages.
Not a cat person. I'm a dog
Aw.
person.
Well,
What
this
an
is literally
a-hole.
like what this is. At this point, it's bullying. Like he just wants to get away from you. He doesn't want to
He's a-
fight.
Yeah. He's thinking this cat is a bully.
Yeah, it's an absolute arse.
How wooed.
Now, I've seen other cat ones where someone put a GPS tracker on their cat to see what happened.
Oh, that's so
And-
funny watching them. Yeah.
All it did, when they took the dog for a walk, the cat stalked them. And it was like in the bushes and stuff, always following them, but never in sight. And then it occasionally like walk off to like explore a garden, but then it would link up with them further down the road and like stalk them again.
He heard the beef. He heard the beef. Your cat. It's like,
Oh yeah. It was like, am I in danger? I need to slap a cat.
I'm going to slap a cat. The singing takes for $2. Thank you. X-ray soy sauce, wicked tamales, and chilled lesbi disky.
Just
I love how people seem to think like, oh yeah, Disparu so chilled, and then they see me game. Like, what is this?
Oh my god.
Like, you need to
You're
chill
so
out.
You
It's like,
were-
well,
I have to respect how calm you were with Steph when you were playing Chain together. I caught
You
a
know
little bit of
why?
it.
That was because
The
there was a
whiskey?
teleport
Okay.
back up to the top. So whenever we went down, I'm like, well, we can go back up from this point, or I
Oh,
can
you
just
played
teleport.
that mode.
Having
okay.
the out was what saved me.
Because I
It-
don't think you
although-
would have been.
Well, the issue is, like, I need variety and everything, otherwise I get bored, right? So I would have got frustrated that we're doing the same part over and over again and you haven't got it yet. But the fact that I could just teleport back up and it's like, okay, you know, we'll move on to the next bit eventually. That saved me.
Eventually.
Oh, no, when we were on the metal post, and there's just, it was the easiest bit in the ever. It was literally just lasers. You had to jump in a straight line. It's like just after the checkpoint, and she's just like diving off in random directions. I'm like, it's a straight line. Just jump in a straight line. It's like, it's so easy. You can do it.
Oh, hey,
I gotta
no,
play
jumping
that.
is difficult in games. It's
Not in a
literally my
straight line,
nemesis.
it isn't. And I'm like, what you need to do, you need to put the pad down and use a keyboard, because then you'll have a mouse, and so the mouse will be more accurate, be easy for you. And then she said, I am using a keyboard and mouse. I was like, oh no. I don't know how you're diving over there on a mouse, because it just jumps where you're going. So you must be looking over in that direction. And then she posted the video of like what was happening, and I literally saw her, just her camera is off over here somewhere, and she just jumps anyway. The thing is, in tabletop, she's literally she's playing a character where it's like, yeah, you have no idea what's going on, you just go along with the flow. And then I found out in that game that's just how she is. Like, that's just her real life. There was because in tabletop it started with we all had a weird letter just arrive next to us, and it was like, meet us at this time. Everyone else is like on roofs, they arrived early, they put up checkpoints to see whether like try and track people arrive, and Steph's just like, I just walk up the road and go in. It was like, okay.
No regard.
Yeah, that was chained together. There was even a bit where we stopped on a ledge, and I went, okay. The thing about the next thing, and the moment I said that, she was just immediately jumping, just walked straight into a laser, got yeeted off the edge. So, well,
Wow.
I can't wait to play that. I gotta play it. I was dying watching.
play
The
it on
only
beginner,
stream-
because it's not that it makes it easier, but it does have the teleport, and just having the knowledge that you can teleport to the last location makes it easier.
I think
Yeah.
it was last week, but whatever day that I watched when X-Ray was playing, it was so funny because
Oh
they
my
made
God, that was
Az
so-
laugh and they fell like really far, and I was like, oh no. And he wasn't even like mad because it was his fault. He was still laughing. I don't remember what you said to make him laugh, and you guys were like,
Yeah.
and he's like, oops.
It's a really good idea that they do on the Sunday stream, where they count who was the person that made them fall, but only if they fall to the end. That's a really
Yeah.
good idea.
It's
So-
funny.
It was
Yeah.
really funny.
But when watching yours back after I'd played it, and I think I said that in the stream actually, that if you have 4 people, it's easier than 2 people. Like, they put less lasers and traps and stuff in,
Oh yeah.
because the difficulty is the people. So that was
Yeah.
a nice way of balancing the game, because we had loads more lasers and stuff with just the 2 of us compared to what I saw you have.
Yeah. I hate the lasers. They're the worst.
They're easy. Be like, well, it's easy with 2 people because the chain is big enough that you can just jump it, even if the other person doesn't.
Yeah. We
Um,
do the circle, which is I think harder than in tandem.
I don't know.
Jojo. Oh my gosh, she came in here with like all these tissues in her mouth. I'll be right back.
Mom.
It's like got into the bath. They just like grabbed the toilet roll and just ran with it, and it's just like rolling down the. You just follow it back to the crime. Have you
Oh,
seen dog
no.
shaming?
Dog shaming? No.
Dog shaming is an incredible internet trend. It is literally, my dog did something wrong, so they put like the dog next to whatever they did with a little note that explains what they did.
Oh, yeah, and they're
It's
like,
amazing.
and they look all sad sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
The
like
dog's
be
like-
food spilled everywhere. Or
As well, like cats don't care if you hate them because like, well, I could live in
No.
the wild anyway. You can like piss off, but
They'll
dogs
kill
get
you.
really upset.
The
They're
cat
like,
will
"Oh,
kill
yeah,
you."
I'm sorry I did this, but it was fun though.
Sorry. Can I still have a treat though? I love you. There you go.
All right, here's the terrorist.
Oh my god,
Look
there's
and
an
see, look
entire
and
website
exactly.
dedicated
So
to
just
it.
making that face you were saying, Disbrew, like what I do.
Yeah,
I
they're like, I
didn't
know
do
there's something wrong, but please love me. If I look cute enough, you'll love me, right? Please. Please
Did you
love
do
me.
something wrong?
I saw.
Not even looking at
I
me.
don't remember which comedian this was, but was talking about like the difference between dogs and cats. It's like a cat, a dog will be all upset and like want to get your love back, and a cat will just like turn around and stick their butt in your face. Like, I don't care. Something like that.
It's an entire website. Tasty remotes.
Sorry, eh?
I like the taste of Samsung remote controls. The second one tasted better than the first one. Like, they always look miserable. And then they're just like, here's the evidence of what they did. Mum's personal...
Oh no!
I like to get into Mum's packages, and it's just like ruined.
It was Joe Rogan. Thank you. Okay.
I have now been officially kicked out of doggy daycare. What has he done?
Oh my god.
I pulled the pizza off the table and hocked it down 6 slices. Well,
Oh, that's
he's got
definitely
the
a dog
tongue.
thing.
A lot of dogs have the tongue. They can't
I
keep
love
it
when
between their
they-
teeth.
Yeah. Oh,
See, normally it's better when they're in the there's cats.
the shame. Ate the toilet paper.
I ate a lamp. That's a metal lamp.
Dang. I hope it wasn't on when you
Like,
did
there's
it.
so many pages of this. You get this with a lot of stuff. Oh, here you go. I like these where you see the damage of what they've done, and just like, no, I'm gonna make you sit in it. Oh, we destroyed the bed. I had a dog that did that. It got into the sofa and started tearing out all the stuffing outside of the sofa.
Some
And they
dogs like
said-
to dig. I had a dog that actually did that.
Well, they
ruined
said that it
Into the
was
sofa? Oh.
Yeah.
yeah, they said that the old sofas were made out of material that smells like bone marrow.
Oh.
And so
Oh.
yeah, to them it just tasted like it just smelled like food. And so, well, they love destroying things anyway, but because it smells like food, it's probably even better. I'm only allowed on the sheet, and he's just sitting on the one that, like, we've got all of this. He's like, no. When I fart, I always run and sit on Mama's pillow before letting rip. Sharing is caring.
Oh no. Ew.
I
Fancy.
quite like
It's
that he's
a
got a
pink
fart
eye.
pillow.
He's got a fart pillow.
Oh.
I didn't want Daddy to pass the PE exam. Oh no.
Oh no.
What is this? Is it the back of the calculator?
Yeah,
And the
he
pencil?
ate the
This is
calculator.
everything.
Don't
Dang.
leave the backpack there. I pooped today. Oh,
and it was
right
right
on
next
the
to it.
carpet.
He went past that real fast.
Yeah.
Jason, thank you for another 2. I had kimchi ramen last night. Beautiful. Sounds
I hate
yummy.
you. I'm jealous.
Ian, thank you for another 50.
Damn.
There you go. We give Disbrew a
Damn.
break. We objectify Dan now a little. So give Disbrew a break.
Yeah, till he
Um,
arrives.
Daddy Grifter and Daddy Rue have really shown their true colors. At least I didn't have to hang my keyboard on a washing line to dry out last week.
Look,
What happened
one
with
of the
that?
benefits of whiskey being like 40% alcohol is that it evaporates on its own really
It
quickly.
cleaned it, so now it's just
Yeah.
cleaned.
Mhm. The arrow keys, they're a bit iffy, but apart from that,
You might need a new.
I'm the only one that doesn't have a
well, they
have a
still
daddy
work. The
nickname.
keyboard works. It's just I have noticed when I have to press the up arrows, it's not exactly every press anymore.
I have a question for you.
There was
This
a
is on-
lot of it literally poured out. Like I went off screen. I'm like, and it like dripped
I
on the
wish
floor.
you filmed it. Okay, which would you choose? Free, pick 2. Free for life. I know which ones I'd pick. So you get
No,
free
there's
gas.
a story about the plane. Have you ever heard the story of the guy who bought a lifetime plane ticket?
Oh my god, he is still using it. He's gotten his worth out of it. It's great.
Yeah, he uses them like taxis.
I would do. I mean, logically, free gas and groceries is probably the best way to go. But I would go with gas
No.
and plane tickets.
Yes.
I do groceries and plane tickets.
Like even I would go for like petrol, despite the fact that I don't drive, just because then I could get plane tickets and petrol and be like, look, yes, I'm getting a free plane ticket, but I can pay for your entire petrol bill if you put me in first class. And they'd be like, yeah, sure. Because
You
they'll
can
say
use
like,
it to get groceries and alcohol and pizza. So there you go. You could bargain. Get it
Mark,
all.
that's not
Yeah,
on the list. Power and internet.
those are like the cheapest things compared to like this whole thing. Yeah, you can bargain stuff. So like you could get free petrol and pay for the flights and then get them to give you other things. Like, you could get free internet on a plane and you could live on a plane forever.
Yeah, definitely
plane
gas.
internet.
Like,
is a thing for me.
imagine I could just go on a flight and go to like Europe right now
That'd be
or
awesome.
Asia.
It's what the guy
You just-
did.
I would go see X-Ray. You just hear a knock, be like,
What?
What?
Who's there?
I didn't even give you my address. It's like, yeah. I found your IP and stalked it.
Oh, dang.
Okay. Okay. Mark, thank you for another 2. Extra girl, what are the dates for the San Antonio meetup?
So the date right now is Wednesday, October 23rd. I believe it's going to be in the evening, probably like 7 to 10. Don't quote me on that. I don't even remember the place and what it's called, but that'll help you, hopefully.
That might change.
No,
sometimes,
it won't change. We booked the venue. I just don't
Oh,
remember what
okay.
it's called. So I don't know. I don't even know if it's technically been released. I think it was just the save the date.
Oh,
So.
okay. There you go.
But it's a
Cool,
huge
cool.
venue, so hopefully we can get a lot of people there. And I think there's going to be a lot of. I know. So I think definitely all the Texans, like Gary, Garrett, myself. I'm not Texan, of
That
course.
would be
but-
amazing. No. Yeah, whiskey would be amazing if you owned a whiskey company, because now you're making it for free and could sell it for 100% profit, which is the perfect business. Because you could literally undercut every single whiskey in the entire world and sell it for anything, and you'd still make a profit.
Mm.
Genius. Buy as many plane tickets as you want then.
Yeah. Dave, thank you for another 5. My favorite point of view YouTube videos are the guys who stick a camera on a Hot Wheels car and build huge racetracks in their backyard. Surprisingly epic. That seems like
Ooh.
something that would be like, I would just zone out watching it and not even like mean to, and just do like a binge watch because it's interesting. Yeah.
There's a lot of TikTok videos that do that. Yeah, they'll be like describing, oh, look, we're going to look at Egyptian pyramids or something. But in the top is just a guy racing down a track. Because the Zoomer mind can't focus on one thing at a time. It needs more stimulus. And so they put a game next to what they're actually describing.
Yes,
I
he
do
does.
think that Ryan Reynolds,
few
he's like, I know
people do.
this.
Yes, he does. He has quite a few. So he has a sports team, I believe, soccer, marketing company, the whiskey. I'm sure that he has more. I just don't know. off the top
Probably.
of
I
my
know
head.
Blake has, I kind of want to try it. She has these, they're called Betty Buzz, I think. They're like mixers though. There's no alcohol in them, but like you could use them for a mixer for like rum, stuff like that. And I seen like marketing of like drinks with them. Like there's grapefruit ones. They're probably low sugar or no sugar, I'm guessing.
I'd be good with that. Yeah, no sugar.
I would try it. Jonathan Stevie, thank you for the 2. Not fat and not a 5, ladies. Oh, wait, let's wait till he comes back. UK jail.
Wow.
Hold on.
I don't want to go to jail, okay?
Ryan Reynolds is an idiot. A stupid idiot, Ian says. Aw,
Wow.
You're hurting
Tell us
X-Ray's
your real
feelings.
feelings.
Yeah, tell us how you really feel. He sold Mint Mobile. Oh, that was him?
God.
Interesting. Well, we'll save the one for Disbrew to answer that question. Old Renaissance Boomer, thank you for the 10. My first fan expo / con today. So awesome.
Awesome.
Meeting Gina, one fan. I
I
fanboyed
fanboyed.
almost as bad as Jay tried to talk to Sean Astin. First and only selfie with Gina. Felt short next to Jay, and I'm 6'2". Boomer spud. That's awesome. I'm glad you had fun.
So I guess you were at Chicago Con. They're
Yeah.
literally so close to me right now. Like this is the closest they've been.
Oh, really? Chicago's close to you?
Yeah, I think it's like an hour plane ride away.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 8-9 hour drive.
I'm gonna say
But-
both of these super chats here for when Disbrew gets back.
When Uwu gets back. But
Yeah.
I'm excited for next week because Toronto Fan Expo. I really just want to go through comics and buy some more. I'm like on a
She's
comic kick.
addicted.
I'm
Yeah,
addicted.
same. I'm so glad you missed the. I mean, it was a long stream. I didn't mean for it to go this long, but I still have it up. If anybody here is interested in seeing my comic collection that I have now, I've always had some, but I'm getting more into them now. And Wiley Dave sent me a bunch, and it was a 2-hour stream of me talking about and going through all the comics, and it was actually a lot of fun. So Thanks to everyone that hung out with me for 2 hours just doing that. So yeah, I'm excited to get more comics soon. Jonathan Stevie for 2. Not fat, not a 5 ladies. Disparu. UK jail when?
Disparu has kind of been living under the rules that everyone else has realized they've been living under for a long time. There was a post. There was a post that I read, which was basically you have to realize you're living under an occupied country that hates you, and you should start acting like it. And I read that a long time ago. Yeah, there's people generally from foreign places will try and get you to act in a way that would only hurt you, and they will try and get you to slip up or do things that would inevitably destroy your life. You need to ignore those people. There was one guy recently which I blocked who thought he was more intelligent than me and started trying to at first it said something about slave morality, and then when I replied to him, because there was one, I think it was in an airport or something, it's like, what are the British people doing? I'm like, well, nobody's defending this, because if they did, they'd get arrested and sent to prison. That would be a really stupid thing to do. It's like, you have straight slave morality. And I replied, and then he thought that I didn't know what slave morality was, and so spent the next thing, rather than replying to what I said, describing what slave morality was. Sorry. And I'm like, yeah, you're not that smart, are you? You thought you were smarter than me, but yet were incapable of understanding what I was saying. And you find that with a lot of people. Anyone in the UK, you should really not listen to people outside the UK. You should know where you are, where you're living, the rules of that, and you should obey them. Because if there's one thing you can't do, you won't beat the state. And people will give you everything. You will see all the things about, well, if they did here, no, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. If tomorrow people came for the guns in America, you would do nothing. You would do nothing. And so, wherever you are in the world, you should live according to the rules of that place. And that goes for anywhere. Like, the rest of the world knows this. It's very weird. Some places don't.
Well, you think that you're a rebel until you see the example be made. And then...
It's just not worth it. A tweet is not worth 3 years in prison.
No.
It doesn't
Absolutely
matter what
not.
the tweet is. It doesn't matter what the impact is. It's not worth 3 years in prison.
Yeah. It's not, that's why it's best. Like I always say, I just, once in a while, you'll catch me in a mood where I'll respond. But mostly I'm just kind of like, it's not that I'm mad. I'm just like in the mood to respond once in a while. But I usually just don't, because it feels not worth it. You guys both know we get a lot of that, especially like in chats and stuff. But that's more, I think this brew sometimes gets the worst ones. Like you were saying, death threats and stuff, but you just block and move on. But still, it's like, you know.
There are areas you can push things, there's areas you can't. And knowing where that boundary is a good thing. Like, I'm not like a free speech absolutist thing. I would just have the line in a different place against different people. So, you know.
Yeah. No, that's... People are... I don't know, man.
People just want to get a reaction out of you.
Yeah. And that's why I don't want to give them that. That's what trolls want. So I was like, I'm not gonna give you what you want. It's also just like a waste of my time.
I just block people. I know there's
yeah,
again,
exactly.
I don't think from the American perspective, don't tend to realize that the rest of the world isn't the same way. Like, I know it's a very common attitude from some people that if you block people, you've lost, right? Because somehow they get pleasure from the fact that you block. I don't care. I don't care if they get pleasure from me blocking them. I've blocked them. I never see them again. And if they make a new account, I'll block that one as well. And so it doesn't really impact me the same way. And anything like that, if I think someone's being in bad faith or trying to do like a god, I just block them. Bye. Like, I would rather spend my time looking at people who are like nice people that I want to be around than nasty people.
Facts.
Improves your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good point, Zach. Yeah, it's... some of the stuff is just like so random too. Like I talked about this, it's so weird, and people are like, really? And I know I've talked to you guys about this before too, how it's so funny. Like on Rumble, like I'll randomly, like from a video a year ago, get like someone with like some like the name will say it all. It'll be something like that I can't even say on YouTube. And it's just like, oh, you stupid whore and stuff like that. And I'm like, I was just reviewing a movie. What? It's like, it's so funny to me, but it's like, you know, people are just, it's like, it's not worth the energy.
Well, with the slave thing, the moment I said something and he didn't understand it and started to try and describe what slave morality was, as if he thought I didn't know, I realized he was too low IQ to understand my point, so I just blocked him.
Exactly.
Like,
That's
you are
what it is a
literally a
lot.
waste of my time. You are physically incapable of understanding my position on this issue, which is
Like,
why
you
you think I'm the one in the wrong, because you can't actually physically understand what you're even talking about. And so I think there's various reasons to do it.
Yeah, so you can't argue with stupid. Like when you're trying to
Yeah,
show
they'll drag
someone
them
the
down to
truth
their level and beat you with
exactly. It's like
experience.
that's what I mean. It's just a waste of your energy. Yeah, Yellow Flash. It's a win-win. They get to think they've won, and we don't have to see their annoying aces anymore.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if somebody
Exactly.
else gets pleasure from it. It's like, fine, whatever. It's,
Yeah, or like arguing with a toddler or a drunk. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
I'm just.
look, I think, especially when, like, you only have so many hours in a day, right? And so you can either spend that interacting with nice people, or you can spend that interacting with people who hate you. And I would rather interact with people that liked it and they like it and everyone gets the benefit from it than, people who only exist to try and spread some kind of misery in the world. And coming from outside the country and, like, trying to claim that people in the UK are acting a wrong way given what they're currently going through, you have no idea. Like, you can't even comprehend the culture or why it exists in this way, let alone the political system or what it is or what it's like to be under it. And so that's actually not a dig. That's just, why would you, right? You're living in a different country. You're not going to spend the energy to learn about that kind of stuff. It's perfectly understandable why. So I can understand the questions. It's just when you then look down on the people in that system for it, it's like, no, there's probably information that you're not aware of. So to judge them for it is a different thing.
Well, it's kind of similar looking back at like how Gen Z views what came before them. Like, not to
Offended by it all?
yeah, but it's just you can't if you didn't experience if you're not experiencing it or you've not even been there. I don't know if you can comment on it entirely.
Yeah.
I mean, that depends what
agree.
you're talking about. Like, there's a reason why I don't comment on American politics, despite the fact that I am way more informed on American politics than Americans would be about British politics. But I also don't think it's like my place. Like, what's it going to achieve, right? Even if I said something, it's going to achieve nothing, and people in America are going to think, who are you to be commenting on our system? Even if they agreed.
You can have your
and so-
opinions, though, but some people,
Well,
you're
well, no,
right, they don't feel that way.
I obviously have my opinions and who I'd support, and anybody that's watched any of my videos would know what that is. But for me to come out and be like, oh, you should do this, it seemed like a really stupid thing to do from a different country, So, yeah, I think there's elements of everything. But given what's going on, obviously it's natural to be like, what on earth is happening in your country? It's when people then look down on the people in that country for doing it, it's like, would you go to prison for 3 years to make a tweet? If not, you've got your answer.
Yeah.
If you fight the state, you get crushed by the state. Those have always been the rules. Nobody has ever had free speech. America doesn't have free speech. There's loads of things you wouldn't say. Loads of things. There's loads of things that you would be able to say in Russia that you can't say in America. There's loads of things you could say in China that you couldn't say in America. No one has ever had free speech. We just draw a line somewhere, and that's where it is, and everybody obeys it because everyone knows you don't fight the state. And America has this issue of, well, we went through a revolution, we did it once, but you wouldn't do it now. And that's the key.
Rhino, that's a good point. Isn't it a bit like saying you can't review a movie or show unless you've seen it? I think you can have a say on certain things as long as you have the information. Yeah, that's a good point. Like when X-Ray said some things, but like in certain things, like you had to be there. Like I'm trying to think of a good example where, because I do get what Disprue is saying, where you have to live through it.
Can you really review a movie or show unless you've seen it?
That's my point. Yeah, I don't think you can review a movie unless you've seen it. But there are some things like I think the better example is when people go, well, you can't judge music because you can't play the guitar. It's like, well, no, just because I can't play the guitar doesn't mean I can't tell that you're playing the wrong notes. Just because I'm not a chef doesn't mean I don't know if you've burnt food, So there are things where you don't have to be able to create the thing to judge the thing. But I think you do have to. I think you do have to watch a movie to judge it.
To be fair, online, I think plenty of people review movies and shows without seeing it, like when they just jump on the bandwagon.
Jason, I see her mental.
I think it's a different thing between being. It's generally used like, well, you can't create the thing, therefore you can't judge it. It's like, no, but I have experienced it. So I've eaten the food, but I may not be able to make it. I can listen to the music, but I may not be able to make the music. But I think it's different when it comes to countries, and it's like, no, there's kind of complex political systems, and then there's culture, and then there's history and heritage, and there's stuff about culture that you only get from living in the system around the people for literally decades in your entire life. Which
Okay, so
like,
Rhino, you're saying like kind of like also seeing a trailer and you have you're breaking stuff again over there?
I just knocked something off the table. Yeah.
Don't
Be right
spill
back.
your whiskey.
No, that wasn't the whiskey. I don't even know what that was.
Okay, so an opinion, you're not reviewing the whole entirety of it. Like,
Yeah,
you're giving an opinion of the synopsis. It's not the same thing as a full review. I would say the same thing about games journalists. You're not doing a good full review unless you play the entirety of the game.
I don't agree with that. You couldn't judge the game's story because you've not been
Sure.
through the story, but you could judge the gameplay mechanics. Like, it's very unlikely
Okay.
that the gameplay mechanics are going to change after the first few hours, for the next 30, you know. So I think there comes a point in the game where you've experienced most things, and actually I reach a point in games where I'm like, the rest of the game is just going to be this repeated. I think I'm done. I was playing First Ascendant. I've not unlocked all the characters. I've not unlocked all the different things, but I know the game loop, and so I can judge it from that.
Yeah. But yeah, you can't judge the whole game. But yes, the game mechanics, that's yeah. But the game journalists now, they judge. We know people are just dumb.
They don't
now.
even play the game.
They don't play
sometimes.
the game. Yeah, they just see something they don't
They
like.
can't get past the
and-
tutorial.
Right,
They're
exactly.
playing on easy mode.
No, have you ever
Yeah.
seen the video of the journalist who can't get on? I can't remember what it was. It was like a 2D side scroller game, and they couldn't get past the tutorial, and it was written on the screen how they jump over the thing. They couldn't do it.
Oh, snap.
It's funny.
Oh.
And I saved this one for when Disbrew came back. Andrew Matthews, thank you for the £2. Preserve wildlife, pickle a squirrel.
Yeah. Solve world hunger. Eat the poor.
Wow.
What?
What? It's the same thing.
Dang. He loves squirrels, okay? Don't come with the squirrels. And Jason, thank you for another Australian
It
too.
was
Those
Cuphead,
dogs will
yeah.
have to pause and reflect. Oh, the pictures of
Aw,
a good
that's
dad
cute.
joke.
That was a good pun. Good fun.
It's a good one. Were you gonna show something to Spuru? Or you...
No, it was the Cuphead tutorial. I'm trying to find the video.
Oh, I would like to see that. Just while you're finding, I guess we can read some more of these.
Yeah, Darth Racer 77 for $5. What is slave morality?
I only heard about that recently, like that phrase. I don't know.
It would be easier if I googled it. It's a complex thing. There's like slave and master morality of
want me to
essentially
Google it?
it's a bit like learned helplessness kind of thing. It'd be easier to show than explain.
Okay.
Learned helplessness. Interesting.
Yeah.
God. This got like
Well, he's
very
Well,
Once
deep.
I show you,
I
you'll
know, that's what's
understand why.
happening
Like giving you an example off the top of my head, is different. Like literally, slave morality, according to Nietzsche, and then it's
The
just like
highlighting.
paragraphs. Yeah, slaves were under master morality, unlike master morality, which is slave morality is bent on resentment, devaluing the master values and what the slave doesn't have. Slave morality doesn't aim on exerting one's strength, but by careful subversion. It does not seek to transcend the masters, but to make slaves of them as well. It is basically like if you're dominated by something continually, then you will learn that. You will learn to just obey what there is. It's basically if you're learned helplessness is the easiest thing. Struggling master and slave morality recurs through historically. Greeks and Romans grounded in master morality. It is. This is not the best example. It is basically if you have masters all of your life, you get used to obeying them. You're like the very idea of going against what it is beyond you because you get confined in a little box. Whereas master morality is like I can do anything. I can dominate people. I can take what I want. Whereas slaves learn that you are dominated by something and you would really just continually submit to it. You'll never even attempt to fight back because you think it's useless. It's like, yeah, but in modern society, it is. That's the point. Are you going to be the one that puts your head above the parapet? Because the example was, it was in an airport, and I think it was oil protesters were like spraying something. Like, why don't they get stopped? It's like, well, if somebody stopped them, they'd go to prison for a long time. So I said, well, I'm not going to prison. You know, why would I do that? I don't care about the airport thing. If they want to do it, You can do that. If you change the laws, then people will. If you make it open season, people will change it. And that's when they're on about slave morality. It was the fact that you wouldn't fight back against something that was morally wrong, despite the consequences.
Interesting. Okay, I'll look more into it.
It's
Yeah,
not
same.
Stockholm syndrome is more of it's a feminine instinct. It comes back to the conquering of territories. They would kill the men and take the women, and so there was an evolutionary advantage to be able to learn to love your new master.
Interesting. Oh, this was to the sure you can for the right price review stuff without watching it.
Oh yeah.
Mhm. Thank you for
Or the right
challenge,
gift
Jason.
bag, right?
Yeah, yeah. Dave Chandler, thank you for the 10. I'm on the older end of the millennial generation. I was never the most brash or outspoken of my peers. Behavior today compared to when I was a kid is absurd. Everyone is walking on eggshells crazy. Oh yeah. I was just
I
talking
hate
with somebody
that.
about this actually recently. Like words like people getting offended by when you use the word retard. Like I grew up in the 90s and we used that all the time and it was never to describe a mentally ill person. Like you'd be messing with your friends. It was in a bunch of movies and shows too that I used to watch. Like I'm not retarded. Like it's not like trying to
Yeah, but
call
it was
someone
a medical.
mentally ill. Yeah, but it was like you would say it to your friends, like, stop being retarded. Like if someone did something stupid, like
Yeah.
your friend jumps off something and skins their knee, and it's like, okay, that was retarded. Not like you're mentally ill, and that was the problem with it. People take things like that and they get so offended these days, and it's like,
Well, it never meant mentally ill. It meant like retarded development. It meant slow. Somebody who can't keep up with the rest of the people throughout all of development. It was the same with stupid, idiot, moron. These all
Yeah.
meant exactly the same thing. But the issue is when the medical, if you have a group of people where there's something like negative, even if it's not their fault, right? And you give it a name, people start using that name as an insult, and then people, oh, you can't say that anymore. So then they come up with a new name, but it's a new name for the same people. So then that becomes the new insult, and that's what happens.
It
throughout all of
becomes
history.
mainstream.
Like
Yeah.
the moment you name a group, if the group is horrible, the name becomes horrible. This is the same thing with woke when they're like, oh my god, you took our name. No, we used the name to describe what you were doing, but because what you were doing is horrific, the name became horrific, and then it became an insult. It's not the word is wrong. It's that the thing that it's describing is bad, which is why the name becomes bad.
yeah. Yeah. It's just, yeah, I agree with that. Thank you for the super chat. Ian, thank you for another 50 pounds. What
Nice.
Hold on.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
queen.
Yes.
It is surprising that, given what England has gone through, Scotland still has worse laws. That is wild.
Really?
Yeah.
Um,
Memes on your phone are enough in Scotland.
geez, Scotland has the
God.
most how do I say that word? Draconian?
Draconian.
Draconian,
Draconian.
okay, of speech laws, but I'll say what I want to because it's funny and awesome, and they can't make a law against being funny and awesome. Also, our police force literally can't be arsed.
Do you have a lesbian cop, Ian, in your police force?
Well,
Like they
the-
do in
the-
the
This is the thing. A lot depends on the topic, and there's topics you can talk about. There's topics you can't. That's mainly what you need to know.
It's like you on YouTube.
Sneaky.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Thank you for another. I think it was 5 last time, but thank you for more gifted memberships.
Aw.
Slosher, thank you for the Canadian 5. Games journalists are just failed journalists. They aren't good enough to make real propaganda, so they'd write about LGBT stuff in games. That's fair.
Yeah, they all expected they'd. This is one of the reasons why they hate their jobs and and you find that with a lot of these people, even like the actors, they actually hate their lives because I'm
Like
rich.
Rachel Zegler?
Well, no,
seems
I
so
think Rachel
happy.
Zegler probably likes her, like, because like she's got a boyfriend that presumably she's happy with. She's been married to him for years.
I didn't even know she
imagine
was
at some point they'll
married.
have kids. Rachel is weird in the fact that her entire career has been based around this stuff. It's why she's got the roles. And so I think she's kind of playing into what's been successful. But I think there's some people that can believe stuff that if they ever thought about it, they would go, actually, this is all nonsense. But people follow incentives. And so if you reward them for acting a certain way, they will continue to act that way. And I think the key is to make people not get rewarded for acting horribly.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense, but nothing makes sense these days. Mark of Reality, thank you for the 20. The folks who don't think that Americans won't fight authority now are fooling themselves. We've had 20 years of warfare, and when the attempt on Trump happened, nobody tried to run out of the rally.
Yeah.
But does that
but-
equate to fighting back though?
It's a case of, and we've seen this in every country, and I know everybody likes to think of themselves as unique. If you look at any statistical data, you're not unique. Everybody on average acts on average. You get a big enough sample, everybody acts the same. And in many countries around the world, the moment they try and take something from you, you let them. Because what's the consequence? Are you going to spend the rest of your life in prison? If not, you're not going to do anything. And it's the same as anything. And this is backfired throughout history, right? There's been loads of times. There's loads of I think there's a famous Russian quote, and it is really powerful because of what was happening at the time. And it was basically, if only we had done something, they couldn't have done it. Nobody did. Everybody likes to think they'd act a certain way.
Yeah, it's like that idea that I would totally be a hero if I saw someone doing bad things. And what do most people do? They just stand and watch. So I don't know. I question that. Jonathan put a good thing, or not a good thing, a good point in chat. American people won't fight back. The Couth proved that. So
They should.
And like, this isn't a.
but-
It's not a dig. Everybody knows what's going on in this country. It's not a dig of anything like that. It's just human behavior, and I think we've reached a point where human behavior is treated as if it's offensive in some way. No, this is just how people are. Like, you can maintain your life and do basically everything you're doing now, or you could spend the rest of your life in prison. Pick. You know, what is the most valuable to you? I think far more people would move than stand back.
yeah.
Than
Well,
like fight back.
people will think about their own lives first and probably their family's lives and think, is it worth it to fight back to have,
And
death?
that is the correct position. To be worried about your own life and your family's life is the correct position. You want the best life for your family. What happens to an entire nation is way beyond you. What you should do is make the best life for your family and yours.
Yeah, that's good advice. And John does make a point. Some places didn't obey the COOF laws, like Florida. I talk about that all the time. When it happened, I was still in New York State, and it was so freaking annoying. I hated anytime it ended up being only when you went into like a medical facility, like dentist, anything like that. I would go in without a mask all the time, and sometimes they'd be scared to tell me to put one on. And I would, like, if they asked nicely, whatever. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to sit here and fight it because I'm going to get kicked out, and I'm not going to get my
my God.
dentist stuff. But it was the law in New York State, really.
I
stupid.
actually,
But
as a
in
medical,
Florida-
I was gonna say, as a medical professional, I liked having the mask policy only because there have been so many times people had nasty breath.
Oh, I can.
They cough on you, like you're
They
standing
were
face
ugly.
to face, and they go.
They were ugly.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't care about
lots of
that.
ugly people love those
are
rules.
rude.
They're
so, yeah,
disgusting,
that's-
so
that's-
I
I
mean-
can see that, but I mean, like, I would get headaches. I eventually had to switch. Like, when I had to wait in the waiting room too long, I would get a headache because I'm like, you're not really supposed to be breathing in. You're supposed to breathe out. Like, you're not supposed to breathe all that stuff back in, like, constantly. I ended up getting
Wait.
the
You just
got
said
a
that like,
headache?
you're not supposed
I
to
got
breathe
headaches.
in
Like, what is it that you blow out the
carbon
like, is it-
monoxide or dioxide.
Yeah, so I would get a headache. I ended up getting the disposable ones though. I was using a
Mhm.
cloth one and washing it, but I ended up getting disposable ones, and that was better because I could breathe more. But the cloth one that I had, oh my god, I would get a
yeah,
headache.
those
It
after
also
being
gets
in there for a
bacteria
while.
and stuff in it. and
Well,
you
also
have
you're
to
supposed
wash
to
it.
after every
change them
use.
every 4 hours.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't probably 4 hours, but just like after like at 30, 40 minutes in a waiting room, I would start getting like a headache, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want this over with. I'm not even in there yet, you know. But Florida did fight back against that. It was, and I remember some of my mom's friends will say who were like, I don't know if they're technically left leaning, but they're definitely like Karen leaning. Will say, freaking out, saying that DeSantis was going to get kids killed and stuff because he lifted the laws, and everyone was okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now, okay,
Imagine that.
chat, I know some people are like upset about what I said. I'm just talking about medical facilities. I think in everyday
Just
life
most
we
people go
should
in
wear
there.
it. Yeah, like people come into ER, they're sick. I've actually gotten sick so many times off of people doing stupid things. I remember one of the first times they coughed and almost like half puked in my face. Yeah, it's not nice. So at least if they cough, it blocks them from coughing on you. Okay. But if you're at the grocery store, stupid. Okay.
Yeah. That. Yeah.
I
I
agree
mean,
with X-Ray. I'd stick her in a tube.
Dude, like the bunny.
Like the baby tubes.
Like the baby too.
Right.
I will
Don't
say,
you?
I've been
Until
in
you've
Florida
learned
for
that we shouldn't do that, you could stay in the tube.
I've been in Florida for almost 2 years now, and it's great. So much better than New York State. Like,
I can agree with that.
But anyways,
We went off a really huge tangent.
we did, but that happens. You never know what to expect with Saucy Saturdays. You get a little bit of entertainment news, a little bit of sarsaparilla,
A little bit just for Q.
a lot of bit of district. Let's be honest. Every
Talk about
other
the
super
topic.
chat.
I'm like, no, well, let's move on to something. No. The answer must
We
be
got
said.
we got all the topics today, though. We covered it all. We did good.
Oh my god. Yeah. God, I will say there's probably 2 Alien movies. I really do wish that they did Alien Isolation as a movie. It was such
That
a
would be
good game.
cool. Yeah, with her daughter,
Mhm.
Amanda. Be very cool. And then who knows? Maybe that would be smart, but who knows if they're. We'll
Does she
see.
have a daughter? The
No, so
actress?
that's who? Sigourney Weaver?
Yeah, does she?
Ripley? Probably, but I mean Sigourney Weaver is pretty up there now, so her daughter might let
She
me
might be
see.
middle-aged at this point.
Yeah. But I'm sure they could find someone that looks like Sigourney Weaver to play Amanda.
Yeah.
Slosher, thank you for the Canadian 10 on what Disparu was talking about. A book of the power of the powerless for the 70s USSR describes the best way to live in a totalitarian state.
Totalitarian.
I can say the word, but I know what the word is, but it's just like not coming out. Thank you. TLDR, live as honestly as you can, build alternatives.
Mm-hmm.
See, I still can't say it. I just can't say it right now.
The interesting thing that you learn, and it's a lot of people never thought about it, and there's, like I said before, there's a lot of issues that are true, but they're taught something different in school, and then just never go back and reanalyze one of those things. And one of them is the morality of people.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody thinks those people share the same morality as them, that good and evil are fixed, and everyone just agrees on it. It's like, no, people have different moralities, and that is where like slave morality comes from. You can have an inverted morality, and so you think they're evil, they think they're doing good, and they will continue to persecute you because they think they're doing the right thing. And I can't remember who the quote came from, but it is basically that it is far better to be under the rule of an evil oppressor because they can be satiated. Like, if they just want to inflict pain and stuff, they will eventually have enough. But somebody who's has an inverted morality to you, they will continue to persecute you forever because they think they're doing the right thing and they think you need it. And that's the worst kind of stuff. And it's why over time, I've changed on a lot of things from like, oh, stupidity and stuff. No, they just have different moralities. And I've even led to the idea that enforcement of stuff is correct, that there should be a morality that is enforced in a country, and you shouldn't allow people with an opposite morality to take over because it will literally destroy the entire country. And I think the more you think about this stuff, a lot of the stuff you taught in school falls apart. Because it's like, oh, peace and free love. It's like, yeah, but if you just allow everybody to do that, you will lose. And that's what's happened.
We got deep this episode.
We did. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Well, at least we got the topics. I mean, we covered the topics last week. We just missed one, which was okay. It was just the D23 news, and I think it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody was sad that we didn't cover it. But what videos do you have coming up, Disparu?
I think there's got to be a Rings of Power one in the works.
That starts in 2 weeks, right?
Yes, the 29th is when it comes out. I'm trying to find the time, and I've seen so many different times reported. Like, some people are saying it's in the middle of the night for America, but I was looking today, and other people say it was 7 p.m., which I'm assuming would be American time. So I don't know. Hopefully we find out when that is. But yeah, they're going to launch 3 at the same time. So
That's a lot of episodes. I don't know if I can get through them all.
Yeah, watching 3 hours of stuff and making a review of the first one before F&T,
It's gonna be
I don't
tight.
I don't think I have enough
Yeah.
time, especially if it is 7 p.m. on a Thursday in America. I just won't have the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I imagine the marketing push for that will increase, so that's probably what's next. But release a Snow White video and Rachel Zegler as ever seems to be people love videos about that.
Ian, can you read this one just through?
Ian so forth for £50. That's proper money. Dicks.
Too
Thanks, Ian.
many dicks on the dance floor. Too many dicks.
Saucy.
That's the thing I think about when you say it like that. That song is so funny from Flight of the Conchords. Anyways, okay.
What do
Oh,
you
he's
have,
referring to
Doug?
dicks.
What do you have going on, X-Ray? I know you got a busy day tomorrow. Sunday's your busy day.
Art in the morning. Sunday fun day as well at 1 p.m. And then Forbidden Frontier. It is Gary's birthday. So if you want just to hang out,
Oh,
that'll be on Nerdrotic Live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, where we're going to be talking about the Illuminati and theories of who and what they are currently and in the past. So
sounds fun. And next week, we're not sure yet. We got to work on it, but that we may possibly just for next week be starting an hour early, but we got to figure that out. Just to
yeah,
heads up
it's
for some
my
of you.
fault. I'm sorry. Okay.
People might like that though. An
I
hour
got to go
early.
out and party on Saturday night.
Party all the time. I don't know. And I have, let's see, I'll have tomorrow my Sunday night Scream stream it's gonna be starting up again, 8 p.m. I think we're gonna be finishing the Alien Fireteam Elite game. I
Nice.
think
Do you
we're
like
on the
it?
last level. Oh, I love it. They're gonna be doing a second game. I heard. I love that game so much. It's so much fun. I played it when it first dropped, and I never ended up finishing it. So
Nice.
tomorrow should be. I love it. It's a shooter game. Really, really fun. You just shoot a bunch of xenomorphs. It's great
That sounds fun.
with your friends. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, just like some gaming streams during the week, but that's all I have going on. Market Reality, thank you for another 5. Study the French Revolution. Look at the most successful fight back in history. It's true. He's like,
I don't think the French Revolution was very successful, nor the ideas that came out of it. I think the French would have been better with traditional ideas. I think most people would have been better with traditional ideas. There's all these ideas that, oh no, we're advancing into the future, so it's going to... Is the idea... Like, when most people think about the world's improving, they think of technology, not ideas. Is it more fulfilling than it was?
we'll save that for another stream.
Yeah.
France is the Middle East now. I've
Oh my
heard.
God.
I've heard that it's not great over there.
Well,
right
yeah,
now.
but again, that's unlinked to the... Well, is it? I don't know. You
I
could
don't know.
argue that one's a chain from one to the other. I
It's
think there's
'cause you
several pillar
imported.
ideas. I think there's several pillars of ideas that need to be destroyed in order to go back. What? This is when people are, it's backwards. I'm like, based.
Let's see. I want to see.
Okay, well, she's
Sorry,
paused
sorry,
there.
sorry.
I
I'm
was
trying to
gonna say,
stream.
like,
You're
do
like,
it.
yeah.
My bad. I started reading something. It's late.
Here, look at this. Fat shaming work. Lizzo's working out.
Yay! I'm like, no, I was looking for to see if like X-Wing or Project Eggroll was on, but they're not. So you guys we're just ending with us tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out. We will see you guys next week.
Okay,
Bye.
See ya.